start. What's up with you? There's no talk with me, is there? I'm going to do some shopping. Not that I've a lot left to do it with, thanks to Baron Heartless up there. See you.
How about you? Go on then, but I'm not stopping all dinner. I've got some things to do at home.
Oh, come on then, let's shift ourselves. We'll have no dinner hour left.
Oh, why?
Hi. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, it's nice to know somebody's got something to be chuffed about.
yeah, but she'll not be getting a Christmas bonus knocked on her head, that's for sure.
Oh, hi.
You've got it all wrong, you know.
I have.
Yeah, slaving away in here while your workers are out there living it up.
Well, I don't intend to be slaving away in here much longer. As a matter of fact, I was hoping some charming young lady would come along and whip me away to lunch.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but she's not coming. So you'll have to make do with me instead.
Doesn't look as if I've got much choice, does it? Where do you fancy?
Hang on. Aren't you going to ask me how I went on first?
Oh, over lunch. I'm starving. Oh, now what have I said?
Well, I've been up to my eyeballs all morning in kiddies' clothing. I've been thinking that much, my brain hurts, and I'm that full of ideas, I'm nearly bursting. I just thought you might have been a bit interested.
I am interested. Just that I don't see much point discussing it here, when we could be discussing it over a glass of wine and well-grilled steak.
You were serious, weren't you, Mike?
Serious?
When you gave me the go-ahead to get on with this, because it was your idea of just humouring me.
Look, if you've got nothing better to do with your time than play games, I'm serious. Show you how serious I am, I'll even set you up in your own little business to handle it.
Honest?
Honest. You proved to me that this Kidsburg thing's a goer, and you've got your own company. I promise. Happier now?
I'd be even happier if we were discussing this over a glass of wine and a well-grilled steak.
Hey, you missed a good night in here last night.
Well, perhaps another time, eh? I take it that it's going to be another time.
Oh, we'll be having something like it, that's for sure. It were like New Year's Eve in here. Jacko's little arms were going like windmills, weren't they, Cock?
Would have done even better with a good warm-up act on. I mean, somebody to warm the audience up before the main turn comes on. You did something for regulars. Somebody they know and love.
Lets you out then, doesn't it?
Hey, are you bringing them drinks? Or do we have to come and get them aside? I am coming, Vera. Well, I mean, most people I talk to enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seems like Alec was right. Just what we needed to get them punters in.
I bet he pushed most of them in himself just to make a good impression. I bet we'd buy them a drink in the graffiti.
I don't care if he gave them a fiver each out of his own pocket. He packed them in. As long as he can keep doing that, he's more than welcome in here.
Well, I only hope you know what you're doing, love.
Betty, I am doing what the brewery wanted. Pushing up the profits, making sure you and Jacko keep your jobs.
But you know what I mean. I'm talking about Alec Gilroy. Once a bloke like that gets his feet under the table.
Stop worrying, Betty. It's not good for you. I have had the Alec Gilroys of this world for breakfast. And no matter what you, or Rita Fairclough, or anybody else has to say, I can handle it. All right.
Right.
Well, he's not one for putting pen to paper much, is he?
Well, not everybody has your literary talent, you know, Mavis.
Oh, I know that. But, I mean, well, you know, with him being so far away and you looking after his daughter, you'd think he'd make a bit more effort, wouldn't you?
I'm not complaining, as long as he's fit and well and doesn't do anything silly. Oh, don't tell us you got rid of all them chocolate digestives I brought in yesterday.
No, of course I haven't. I'll go find them.
Good.
Yes, love.
I was hoping you might be able to help me.
What's your problem?
I'm trying to trace someone who I believe lives around here, but I'm afraid I haven't had much success so far.
Oh.
Then I had this thought. If she does still live around here, then she may just have her newspapers delivered. And if she does...
Been out them, that's for sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were busy.
She, you said?
That's right. I did have an address, but when I got there, I was told she'd moved on someplace else.
Oh, well, what's her name?
Well, last I heard it was Todd. Gloria Todd. But if she's married recently...
Gloria!
You know her?
Well, yes, we do, if it's the same one.
Well, about a year or two older than me.
Well, I wouldn't like to be the one to tell her to her bare face, but, yeah, she could be.
Oh, you don't know what a relief this is. I was beginning to think I'd come all this way for nothing.
Ah, yes, you see, I thought you weren't from this side of the Red Wreck.
Sorry?
America, isn't it?
Well, Canada, but you're forgiven this time. Well, if you could just tell me where I could find Gloria.
Right now, well, she'll be in the Rover's Return, I should think. That's the corner of Coronation Street and Rosamond Street.
You just go left out of here and you get right down to the bottom to Coronation Street. You can't miss it.
Okay, thanks. I'm very grateful. And maybe I'll see you around.
Maybe.
Bye, and thanks again.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Gloria Todd, eh? Hey, she's a dark horse, isn't she?
I wonder who he is.
I don't know, but he sure beats chocolate digestives any day of the week.
Surprise, surprise, if it isn't the man of the moment. Bet?
Alec,
Well, this certainly looks a different place to last night, eh?
you can say that again. My feet hardly touched the ground all night. What are you having?
Well, go on, if you're twisting my arm, I'll have my usual.
Irish for Alec, Betty Chuck.
Right.
So, what brings you round here?
Well, I've just got back from the brewery, as a matter of fact. And I can tell you, it's not just you and me that's pleased with our little success.
Really?
George Newton is over the moon.
Very glad to hear that.
So, I thought there's nothing like striking while the iron's hot.
Is that right?
Yeah, certainly. You'll have folk queuing up to see what you've got lined up for 'em next. So when you've got 5 minutes...
You don't let the grass grow, do you?
Oh, that's not my style, Bet. Life's far too short for that.
Yes, love.
I was told I could find Gloria Todd here.
Gloria.
Gloria? What about her?
She does work here.
That's right, love, but you're out of luck. She's off since dinner.
Oh, I see. But you do have her address.
That's right, but I can't give it you.
Oh, look, I've come a long
I'm
way.
sorry, Chuck. Company policy. The best I can do is get a message to her to tell her that you're looking for her. But you'd be just as quick to come back. She's on at 5.
Well, I don't seem to have much choice. Okay, I'll come back then.
Who shall I say called?
Oh, it doesn't matter. My name wouldn't mean anything to her anyway. I'll be back later.
No, I seemed a decent enough young fella.
Yank on me.
Aye, something like that.
What's our Gloria doing with a yank?
Search me, but she's known some very funny fellas in her time as our Gloria, so I'm taking no chances. Right, Alec.
Right, Bet.
And he wants to watch he doesn't crack his flipping halo.
Well, some folks want to watch so they don't get dazzled by it.
Well, we certainly gave him something to think about, that's for sure.
True.
Question is now, where do we go from here?
Hey, I haven't given it much thought, Alec.
Well, I have. And for a start, I think we should move up a gear.
All right.
Aye, 2, maybe 3 nights a week. I'll see how it goes. Different turn each night, of course. I've got just the axe in here that'll turn this place into a little gold mine.
Hang on a minute, Alec, not so fast. We've had one good show, but folk round here are very slow to take to change. And 1 night a week is quite enough for now, believe you me.
Look, I hope you don't think I'm just drumming up business for myself. I hope you know me better than that by now, Bet. It just happens to be my honest opinion.
And it just happens to be my pub, Alec. Here, let me get you another drink. What did your last one die of?
Idly, have you got a minute?
Yes, love, what is it?
Hey, she's on a tea break, you know.
Oh, well, if you'd rather I left...
No, it's all right, love, honest. What is it?
Hey, have a biscuit.
Well, I was just wondering how long it'd take you to run up 1 or 2 samples of children's wear.
Children's wear?
Yeah, just 1 or 2 different designs. And have to peddle round a few buyers. Well, you know the sort of thing.
Well, it's hard to say, love. I mean, what until I've seen patterns? What's involved?
Well, just a rough idea would do. I mean, bearing in mind what else you've got on at the moment.
Well, I don't know, honest, love. I don't. I mean, 4, maybe 5 days.
Right, that's fine.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all for now. Thanks, Ivy.
Right.
Hey, what were all that about?
She wants to know how long it'd take us to knock up a few samples of children's wear.
Children's wear?
What's going on here? All money bags gets our Christmas bonus into touch. Now little Miss Perfect's talking about knocking out children's wear.
Well, I don't know, Shelley. I don't know any more than I've just told you.
Yeah, well, I reckon it's time we found out.
So do I.
And if I told you what she did with the snake, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, well, I don't want any acts like that in here, Tar, very much.
Oh, no danger.
Right, I'll see you. I've left Jack in there finishing off, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Ciao, Betty. Yeah,
Ciao.
thanks, love.
Okay, love.
She's a laughing minute, old Betty, isn't she?
She's all right, is Betty.
Oh, I'm not saying she isn't. She doesn't bring much fun into your life, though, does she?
That is not what I pay her for.
No, still. You needn't go short in that department. Not while I'm around.
No, so I've noticed.
Well, I'd best be making a move. Some people say I spend too much time here already.
You'd never believe what folk are saying.
Well, you and me.
Laughable, isn't it? Still, you'll never stop tongues wagging round here.
Let 'em, eh? Just as long as we know where we stand.
Bet?
That's right, Alec. And I, for one, I'm in no doubt about that.
No, neither am I.
Mind you, if we did start doing kiddies' clothes, it'd solve one or two of my Christmas present problems.
Man and all. You know, I can just see I'm Jack in a romp for soup.
Well, I'm glad somebody thinks it's funny. Because I tell you one thing, Pinot, is getting no extra work out of us without proper negotiation. And that's a fact.
Ivy, did you get that Pemberton order out?
Yes, it went before dinner time, Mr. Owen.
Oh, good girl. Well, if the goods are up to standard, which I don't doubt for one moment, and the deliveries are on time, we might be able to squeeze a bit more out of him next time. Right, well, don't let me hold you up. I'm sure you'd rather hear the machines clattering than me droning on. I know I would.
Well, go on then.
Eh?
Go and ask him what's going on. Then if we are going to have a battle on our hands, at least we'll have time to get the ammunition ready.
Right, I will.
Hang on a minute. I reckon if anybody should go, it should be Ivy.
Oh, thanks very much, Vera.
There's the shop steward.
Yeah, and we all know what she's like, don't we? Look, we've lost us Christmas bonus. I, for one, don't want to be out of a job and all this Christmas.
Just a minute, yo.
Look, get in there, Ivy. It was Susan that spoke to you about it. Go on.
Well, if that's what you want.
Yeah, you sit down, you.
Could I have a word, Mr. Bowen?
Yes, Ivy.
It's about these kiddies' clothes that Susan's going on about.
Oh, yeah, what about them?
Well, she's been asking me how long it would take to knock up a few samples, like. I mean, what's going on, Mr. Bowen?
You know as much as I do, Ivy.
Oh, you mean you don't know what about it?
I know she's making a few inquiries, and I know she won't be happy until she gets it out of her system. I also know it is Susan's baby entirely. So I suggest if you want to know anything else, you ask her, okay? Now, if that's all, I've got work to do.
No, come in.
Oh, I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
You are, and I'm delighted. Anything to get out of doing this lot.
Just wanted to ask you a question.
Oh.
Do you have any contacts at that place group Tracy used to go to? I mean, I know it's a bit back, but...
Oh, no, I haven't, love. I'm sorry. I do have a friend who has a playgroup, though, if that's any use. It's not round here, though. It's on the other side of town.
Oh, that's okay. Do you think she'd mind if I popped in for a bit of a chat?
I shouldn't think so. I'll give her a ring. Oh, I'll have to give her half an hour, though. She'll be picking the kids up from school.
If you could let me know.
Yeah, sure I will. Can I ask what all this is in aid of, or is it top secret?
No, of course it's not. I'm doing a bit of a survey into kiddies' clothes. I'm trying to pinpoint what mums are looking for, prices they like to pay, that sort of thing. I just think it's the area we should be moving to at the factory.
I see. And what does Mike have to say about all this?
Ah, well, he was a bit sticky at first, but I think he's coming round to my way of thinking. He's told me to go ahead, look into it, and if he thinks he's got a chance of getting off the ground, he'll give it a go. He's even promised to set me up in my own company to trade under.
Has he? No.
I know what he's thinking. He's thinking I've got no chance, but I'm going to prove him wrong, aren't I? I've done my homework, and I can be a very determined lady when I get my teeth into something.
Yes, I do know.
Well, didn't he say anything about himself?
No.
Not even his name?
He said it wouldn't mean much to you anyway.
Oh, I think you've got a visitor.
Bet?
Alec, you're an early bird.
Well, I've got a busy night ahead of me. Now, I've just been giving next week's cabaret spot a bit of thought, and I've come up with a real belter. You're going to have to push the walls out for this one.
I told you, Alec, no male strippers. This is a family show.
You mind. Look, can we go through to the back?
Hang on a bit, Alec. Gloria?
You must be Gloria.
That's right. I don't think I know you, do I?
Richard Armstrong. And you're right, you don't know me. But we do have one thing in common.
We do?
Our mother. I guess that makes me your half-brother.
I haven't seen my mother in 27 years.
Yes, I know.
She's dead?
No, she's still alive. Look, is there anywhere we can talk?
Look, if you want to go through to the back, I can manage you for a bit, just so long as you don't take all night about it.
Thanks. I don't think I ever did catch your name.
No, I never told you. It's Bet.
Thanks, Ben.
Best come through.
Now, about this cabaret spot.
I'm sorry, Alec, you're going to have to hang about a bit.
Well, if you want me to give you a hand while Gloria gets back...
I'll know where to find you. You're too kind, Alec. Yes, love?
Pint of bitter and a gin and tonic.
Pint of bitter and a gin and tonic. Coming up.
Right, I'm making a rhubarb quick. Oh, flipping heck.
I'll leave it, it's past time.
I can't leave it, can I?
Come here, see you.
Yeah, see you, boy. Hey, I'll hang on.
Okay. Baldwin's Casuals? Oh, hello, Deirdre. Susan, no, she's not. I don't know whether she'll be back tonight. You should be able to catch up with her at home later. Oh, just hang on a minute, Deirdre. No, I think she was supposed to be meeting Mr. Bowen for a meal. Is it all important? Oh. Oh, I see. Right, well, if you don't catch up with her at home, I'll make sure she gets the message first thing in the morning. Yeah. Ta-ra now. That were Deirdre Barlow.
Oh, aye, what did she want?
She wanted Susan. Seems like she's fixed up to go to some playgroup or other to talk about kiddies' clothes and all that. I wonder what's going on, Vera. Some it is, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what's going on. Do you know, she's twisting Baldwin round her little finger. She is. I mean, look, she got me my job back in here, didn't she? And now she's trying to change stuff that we make. Do you know, I won't put it past her to have stopped our Christmas bonus to pay for it.
Oh, no, don't talk daft,
No,
Vera.
I'm telling you, kid. It's not Baldwin that courts children here now. It's that missus of his.
She talks about you quite a lot, you know.
Does she talk about how she abandoned me and took off to the other side of the world?
She had no choice, did she? She had no money, no job, no proper home. Your father died before you were even born. She was desperate.
So she turned her back on everything, including me, her own daughter.
She arranged for your aunt to look after you because she thought you would have a better life with her. Honestly, if you think she took the easy way out, you're very much mistaken. It left a scar that will be with her forever.
And what do you think it did to me? I was just a baby, you know, and my mother walks out of my life.
She had no choice.
When'd she get married, then?
About a year after she settled in Canada.
To your father?
That's right.
Oh. He obviously meant more to her than I did. So what's she doing now?
We run a hotel by Lake Ontario.
Hmm? One big happy family.
Not quite. Dad died just over a year ago. And there's just Mom and me now. I didn't even know you existed until after Dad died. She never mentioned you once. Not until the past few months, and now she talks about nobody else.
Very touching, I'm sure.
You must feel something for her. She is your mother.
How can I? After what I went through. Waiting. Hoping that one day she'd walk through that door and take me back into her life again. Took me a long time to get over that. Does, you know? To come to terms with the fact that you're never going to see your own mother ever again.
It doesn't have to be like that, Gloria. Not anymore.
I think it does, Richard.
Marvello. He doesn't sound much like the Rovers to me.
He's one of the best comedy magic acts in the business, Ben.
Oh, you're the expert. You just have a word in his ear. Tell him it's pints I want to see disappearing, not the punters.
Oh, trust me. Well, I'll have to love you and leave you. I'm going to pop in across the road before I do the club round. Oh, it never ends, does
It must be hell for you, Alec.
Oh, it is, it is. See you, kid.
See you, Carl.
Jack.
Alec.
Nice of you to show your face.
Oh, it's all right. I'm not that late. I just happened to bump into Sam Tyndall going across to the graffiti club.
So, that's what he's doing all his supping these days, is it?
For now, maybe not for much longer.
Hey?
Well, according to old Sam, Gilroy's place isn't making enough money to pay the lecky bill. Ironic, isn't it? The way he's flying about telling everybody else how to up their takings, and his own place is slipping through his fingers like sand through a sieve. Couldn't happen to a nicer fella. Yes, pal.
Gloria, she's very ill. And right now, the only thing in the world that matters to her is to make it up with you. Before it's too late.
I can't. Not after all this time. It'd be too painful. For all of us.
Gloria, please.
Look, it's 27 years since she walked out of my life. 27 years without a word. Until you turned up, I didn't even know if she was still alive. Now, what is the point of opening up all those old wounds again?
Look, I know this must all come as a bit of a shock to you. All I'm asking you to do for right now is to think about it.
There's no point. Even if I wanted to go, there's no way I could afford it.
You don't have to worry about that. I've got the money for your ticket. Just think about it, all right? I'll talk to you again.
Why is it so important to you?
I promised her that if I did find you, I wouldn't go back without you. It means that much to her, Gloria. It really does.
Hey, what's she talking at?
Well, it'll still seem a little bit like a zoot with this place, won't it, Vera? Who can blame us?
Well, she's not making monkeys out of us, her in a kiddie's clothes. What does she know about them, eh? What does she know about old?
What are you moaning about now, Vera?
Her in there with the daft ideas. Do you know what she'll do for this place before she's finished? She will.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
I'm telling you. She'll either give Dr. Death an heart attack, because she's too young for him, or else she'll bankrupt him with the daft notions.
I'm definitely getting black looks off Vera.
Join the club.
I thought they'd have been all for it.
Innovation to that lot, love, is like mint sauce to a lamb.
Yeah, well, I'm still going to carry on my market research. Will I see you later?
Yep, I'll be around. Keeping you all in bread and butter, but then that's me, isn't it? See you.
Morning, Bet.
Morning.
Any instructions?
Get on with it. Anything else?
No, I can think of.
On your bike, then.
Certainly, boss. Hey.
What?
She's got her worried now, don't you?
Oh, yeah?
Hey, from the look of her face, she hasn't slept a wink, wondering about that tidbit of information I give her about Fatso Gilroy.
You must have X-ray eyes, love, if you can see through all that muck she puts on her face. I mean, I don't think you can tell if she's dead.
That's not very kind, Betty.
Well, it's the truth.
But she's bound to be wondering what's going on, isn't she? And you're bound to be suspicious now that she knows that the graffiti club hasn't made a profit since he went and booked that male stripper for that young mother's sewing turtle clash in October.
Well, I certainly don't know what to do.
Yes, well, I definitely do, Betty. He is going under over there, so what does he do? He gets himself a nice, cushy little number booking acts, and he uses that to get matey with Betty. But the master plan is to get his pants over her bed end and get his name on that door.
Yes, but Jack, is it any of our business, though?
It would be if we had to work for him, Betty. He's a right swine to work for, and I know from experience. He's always picking folk, very sarcastic, not a very nice man at all.
Well, I mean, surely Beck could see it, too.
Well, some women are very blind where men are concerned, Betty.
Yeah. You mean like Vera must have had her eyes shut when she fell for you? Hello, lovey.
Hiya.
What's the matter?
Is Bet in?
Yes, she...
Right. Who's nicked my calculator?
Come on, it's here by the till.
So it is.
Can I have a word, Bet?
Look, love, I am up to my eyes in VAT returns. Give us an hour's peace and solitude or they'll never get done.
Right.
Are you still going to Canada to see your mum?
Don't know what to do, Betty.
You see what I mean about women not knowing what they're up to? Not knowing their own minds?
You were wrong about that, though, weren't you, mastermind? Look, she's more interested in the VAT returns than she is in Alec Gilroy at all. Come out.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And how are you these days, Rita?
Oh, you know, fair to middling, Alec, as you say.
You're a big loss to the business. I've always said that.
You've always said that, Alec.
You know, this lady could have been big in show business if she'd listened to me. Very big.
Really? If I'd listened to you, Alec, I could have spent a lot of my life behind a fan.
Ooh, singing fan dancer. Ooh, I like it. What are you doing tomorrow night?
Knitting.
Oh, what a waste.
You don't need me, Alec, surely. Not with all your irons in the fire, not to mention tricks up your sleeve.
It's a harsh, cruel world, Rita. You've got to be quick on your feet to survive.
And they don't call you Twinkle Toes for nothing.
You know, you've got a very suspicious nature, Rita. It's always spoiled you. A bit more wide-eyed and trusting, and life for you could have been one big meringue.
Bye, Alec.
Bye.
Ooh, I don't like that man.
A lot of people don't. Then again, a lot of people do.
Perhaps it's his gold cufflinks to find attractive.
Not to mention his silk socks, which he buys a dozen pairs at a time.
Well, it's definitely not my type.
No. But then is he Bet's?
Oh, I shouldn't have thought so.
They don't half make a mess, don't they?
Better here at play school than at home.
Yeah, I suppose so. Which one's yours?
That one there.
She's very pretty.
Don't be fooled by the angelic expression. She can be a little devil.
Oh, he's enjoying himself.
That's Mark. He usually does.
I'm right, aren't I? Mums do like dressing up the kids.
Of course we do, when we can afford it.
Do you find children's clothes expensive?
Oh, I'll say shoes are the worst. A decent pair costs a small fortune.
I'm not really into shoes. Oh, the factory isn't.
My husband says if he had his way, he'd condition kids to go about nude till they were at least 14.
So you don't tend to spend much on clothes for your daughter, then?
I don't, because I can't afford to. But luckily, Natasha's got a couple of very kind grandmas.
Oh, grandmas. Yeah, I've forgotten about them.
A very handy species, especially from your point of view. Where I'd buy practically, they go more for style and colour and that, which doesn't come cheap.
Well, that's one of my problems. Whether to go for the cheaper stuff or the fashion end.
Oh, I'd go for the fashion end myself and do an advertising campaign aimed at grandmas.
Yeah, I think that's the area I prefer.
You'll make a bomb. I mean, the psychology's on your side, isn't it? What reflects better on a mum than a well-dressed child? And there's the keeping up with the Joneses element as well. If she can have that designer play suit, then my Jacqueline can. You don't want a partner by any chance, do you?
Well, I'll let you know. If the business gets too big for me.
The Mary Quant of children's clothes.
Why not?
Why not?
Look at the expression on little Mark's face. Talk about concentration.
Young, yeah, we're so young.
Yes, mate. Whiskey and dry, served pleasantly and efficiently. That's if you're familiar with those two basic requirements of a good bar person.
I get very few complaints.
Oh, you've been to college then, have you, since you worked for me? Joke, Jack, just a joke. Just. Where's the delectable Bet?
Busy.
Oh, not to worry, the day's still very young and I'm fancy-free.
I'll tell you what we could do. We could nobble it.
Eh?
Well, if this kiddies clothes business does take off, we could turn out shoddy work, couldn't we? Nobble it, kill it in its infancy. Do you get that? Infancy, kiddies clothes.
I don't think that were very funny, Vera.
Me neither. Well, I think I'm having second thoughts. Eh? Well, it might just be what the firm needs, that. A change of product, a change of direction.
No.
Hey, and it'd be a change for us too, wouldn't it, making something different?
Oh, I don't know, Shirley. It's a bit risky making a big change like that.
Of course it's risky. We're a schoolgirl in charge. Look, this is our jobs. This is our lives she's experimenting with. What do you say, Ivy?
I shall worry about it when it happens, Vera. I can't see Bowen going overboard for anything like this. Not at expense of everything else. No, he's a bit like you know, Vera. He's very conservative at heart.
What are you talking about? I've never thought it else but labour.
Exactly.
Hello there.
Hi, is Gloria around?
Well, she's just in the back getting some food orders.
Oh, well, may as well have a glass of your best beer then.
Half for a pint.
Make it a pint. I think I'm getting to like it.
Oh, you're not on your own round here, lovely. That's 74 pence, please.
You know, you're becoming a fixture.
Well, it's the women in here. I find you all irresistible.
Oh, tell me more. Does Gloria know you're around?
No, it's not that urgent.
Excuse me, must circulate.
That's what the big wheel does.
Are they all like you in Canada? If so, what the hell am I doing here? Alec?
Bet. He's far too young and innocent to appreciate all that, you know.
Were you ever young and innocent, Alec?
Oh, I don't think so, no. I did everything before I should have done. Smoking, drinking, going out with girls. I was the only kid in infant school with hair on his chest.
What happened to it?
Oh, it's still there. It's curlier now.
Oh. I've been hearing rumours, Alec, about the graffiti.
What rumours, exactly?
Till's in danger of rusting up.
Pre-Christmas doldrums, you know, Weatherfield. Has to fast for a fortnight in order to enjoy a day off.
And that's all.
Nothing a few office parties won't put right.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it. I didn't like to think of you being short of a bob or two, especially at this time of the year.
Thanks for your concern.
Didn't last long. I suddenly remembered the cut you get from all your artistes. By heck, you're a right belt and braces man, aren't you, Alec?
I call it forward planning, Bear.
Is that what you call it, Alec?
Oh, seem to be run off my feet today.
Yeah?
Would you like something to eat?
No, thank you. Have you, made up your mind?
Yes, I have. I'm not coming.
You can't not come, Gloria.
Sorry, I've decided.
But she's very ill.
Yeah, so you say.
She is, in fact.
What?
She might only have weeks to live.
I don't believe you. You're just saying that to get me to come.
I didn't tell you before because I knew it would sound like that, but it happens to be true. It's cancer.
What does she want with me now? After all these years? All these years when, as far as she was concerned, I could have been dead.
Because she's a very sick lady and she wants to see her daughter again
I wanted
before...
to see her. I was desperate to see her. But I didn't know where to look. And she never came looking for me. I'm sorry. I don't know this woman who's dying. She's a stranger.
Gloria!
Then when the mums came to collect the kids, I canvassed them as well.
And what was the result of all this market research? Or haven't you had a chance to put it through the computer yet?
Well, based on a very small sampling, of course.
Of course.
I reckon that I could take the children's clothing market by storm.
Well, I'd say that was a very modest forecast indeed for a genius like what you are.
Yeah, so would I. No, serious though, it's just convinced me more than ever that I'm right. Mums like dressing up the kids. It's as natural as eating.
Well, given a choice between a slap-up meal and a new frock for Tracy, I think I'd have a battle on my hands, personally.
Well, then you're untypical, I hope.
So, it's all systems go, then?
Ah.
What's the problem?
An unenthusiastic workforce, and I suspect an equally unenthusiastic boss.
Well, I would have thought Mike would be as keen as you are, especially if it's making money. Or hasn't he got room for any more under the mattress?
My theory is he thinks that I'm going to be stealing some of his thunder. You know, invading on his personal space over there.
Making him itch up on his throne a bit, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's the way he sees it, yeah.
You're not going to let him put you off, are you?
No way.
Good. I'm looking forward to frequent reports from the war zone, and I rather think Ken will be too, especially if you're winning.
Oh, I intend to win.
What about the girls?
Well, they're more of a problem. There's no way I can do it without their support.
Hey, you, get some cleaning up done at home when you leave here this afternoon, instead of just flaking out in chair like you to do.
My darling, I shall have it looking fit for a queen, your very good self.
Well, I'll believe that when I see it.
Do you know, I don't think my old man ever washed a pot once in his entire life.
How many times have you washed up? Twice?
But it's not a man's job, Betty, love. Just like digging your ditches into a woman's.
When did you ever dig it?
Yeah, but is that my fault? Nobody's ever asked me.
Oh.
Have you got a minute, Jack?
What?
I believe you've been doing a bit of chirping.
Chirping?
Yes, you know, like what the little birds do. Tweet, tweet. To bet.
No.
Oh, so it's not you, then, that's told her the graffiti's having a bad time?
No. Is it?
I think it is you, Jack. What's more, I think you did it to put me in a bad light with Bet.
Why would I do a thing like that, Alec?
How do I know how your mind works, Jack, or even if? All I do know is it's got a lot in common with a box of tricks.
You could talk, mate.
I'll tell you this. Keep your nose out of my business. Because you're way out of your depth, Jacko. Like you are with anything more intelligent than snakes and ladders.
We all know what you're after, mate. We've got you taped.
Jack, what's going on?
It's, our Alec seems very sensitive. You know, about the graffiti.
Betty, do you know what that was all about?
Oh, search me, love. Look, I'm not especially interested in Alec Gilroy or Jack. I'm more interested in our Gloria. She does seem upset.
Where have you been? It's 2:30. I've been waiting nearly an hour for you.
Well, Bill Stanley invited me to lunch, didn't he? Offer I couldn't refuse. A, because he is a very good customer, and B, because he is a very, very generous host.
Yeah, so I see. You're wearing your fatuous, well-fed, well-boozed look.
Me? Sober as a corpse.
I went to play school this morning.
Did you? Oh, good.
Mike!
Hey? Oh, yeah, sorry, what happened?
Well, it's just convinced me more than ever that I'm right. I mean, given the right goods at the right price, well, it's not even a gamble, it's a certainty.
The right gear, the right price, we'd all be making a fortune if we could guarantee that.
Yeah, well, I do guarantee it.
Well, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's just an idea, something in your head. I mean, you've got nothing on paper, have you? No figures, no design?
No, but I will have, and soon. You can depend on that.
Oh, right, great. That's the next step. Let's see something.
The next step is to try and get the girls on my side.
Those girls will be on your side the first day they pick up a bonus sewing kids' gear, and not until then.
Well, can I have a word with them?
A word?
Talk to me. Put them in the picture.
Well, in a bit of a funny mood. I don't want you upsetting them, you know, provoking any trouble.
I won't. Thank you, Mike.
Suze?
Right, pack it in, girls. Susan's got something to say to you. Vera, take 5. Why? Just do it. You're not usually that keen to work any road. Right, they're all yours, love.
Thanks. Right. I just thought I'd put you in the picture about this scheme of mine to start making children's clothes. I didn't just pluck the idea out of thin air. It's a well-known fact that the children's clothes end of the market is very buoyant.
What does that mean?
It means it's doing very well, Vera.
Well, let's get on with it.
So I thought, well, why shouldn't we have a go? I mean, it's no more difficult than the stuff we're making now. Well, that's not true. It's a bit more difficult, but then the rewards are higher, much higher. Especially if we go for the quality end of the market. I'm not saying we should change over completely, put all our eggs in one basket. Anyway, Mike would never allow that. But, well, it's a challenge, isn't it? A chance to do something different. Instead of the same old jeans and jackets and flying suits. You know what they say about a challenge, don't you? Keeps you young. Ooh. So more money, more interest in work, and everlasting youth. That's what I'm offering you. So what do you say? Should we have a go?
Well, I say we've got no to lose.
So do I.
Well, if it means, like, diversifying a little bit.
Yeah. Vera?
Well, I'm obviously a voice in the wilderness, so I'll hold my peace till I'm proved right.
Thank you.
And I still say it'll be a bigger disaster than Hitler. I thought you were going to keep quiet. Anyway, it's not tea break. Get cracking.
Aren't you going to congratulate me?
There's a lot of difference between promises and that lot out there actually delivering.
Oh, they'll deliver. Because they've got a stake in the delivery. And not least because I asked them nicely.
Come in.
I'm off, Bet.
Right. Gloria.
Yeah?
You're definitely not going to Canada?
Definitely.
Come on. Come and take the weight off your coat shoes for a couple of minutes. Come on. Now then. You think you're being wise?
As far as I'm concerned, Bet, my mother's been... Well, she's been dead for years. Now, that wasn't my decision, it was hers. I made myself forget her. And it wasn't easy. Well, especially when I was younger, you know. Little girl.
All the other kids had a mother and I wanted mine. Cried myself to sleep night after night. So I don't see why I should have to go through all that again. Which is what it'll mean if I do go.
But which is worse, love? Going and being upset, or not going and never being able to forgive yourself?
Do you think I should go?
Yes, I do, love.
I hate her, Bet. She abandoned me. She left me to stew while she went off to do her own thing. She didn't give a toss about me. What sort of a woman could do that?
Well, I know what sort of a fella could. My dad. He did a bunk when I was a couple of months old. I've never seen or heard of him since.
Don't you hate him?
I used to, love. Now I'm more curious about him. Do you know, I'd love to see the old devil. See what sort of stock I've come from. Rum, eh? Mind me.
I just feel so bitter.
I don't blame you, love, not for 1 minute. I mean, why should you even cross the road to do her a favour, after all the hurt she's caused you? But, besides it being the only charitable, the only Christian thing to do, it's also likely to undo a lot of the knots in your guts. You'll feel better for doing it. Now, if that sounds a selfish reason for going, so what? Especially if it makes a dying woman happy as well.
Didn't expect common sense. Think I expected a lecture.
Hey, love, I'm the last person to lecture anybody, just in case they return the compliment. But I want you to think about what I've said.
I will. Thanks.
Hey, and talking about selfish reasons, how's about a free trip to Canada with a very handsome young fella? That'd be the only excuse I needed.
You'll never guess what I've just done.
Bought ICI just to run as a hobby in the spare time from manufacturing kids' clothes.
I've recruited my first employee,
You what?
Cheryl Crossley.
That's supposed to ring a bell?
Cheryl, she was at the wedding. My friend from Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, the brunette.
She's blonde. She was an art student and she's done designing, dress designing.
Oh, you headhunted her off someone else, did you?
No, because she'd not actually managed to find a job designing yet. But she's very good. I've seen her stuff.
Is she? Still, we won't have to pay her much money, will we? Unemployed art student, that's one blessing.
Are you jealous?
Jealous? What of?
Me. And what I seem to be achieving and the fact that it's going very well so far.
Don't be silly. Of course I'm not jealous.
So it's same old thing then. You'd rather have me with a baby in my arms at home.
Yes, I would.
And you don't feel as if you're having your nose pushed out here?
Don't be ridiculous. This firm's my baby. Always will be.
Good.
So, that's it. I'm going.
Great.
I thought my mission had failed, but I believe you had a word with her.
Oh, she didn't need much persuading from me, really. And I'm very glad.
Yeah.
So, when are you off?
Tomorrow morning.
Got your passport?
Yeah.
Off you go and get packed.
But what about tonight, here?
Oh, listen to her. You just think about going to Canada and seeing that mother of yours. I'll tell you what, Richard.
Yeah.
Your mother couldn't have a better daughter, that's for sure.
I've already come to that conclusion.
There's just one thing.
What now?
Well, I don't know when I'll be back. Will you keep me job open?
I can't promise you that, love. But you know I'll do my best.
Fair enough.
Right, come on, off with you. And I hope... Well, you know what I hope. Look after her, Richard. She's not all that used to travelling.
I will. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Try that.
Ciao.
Bye-bye, darling.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'll miss your beer.
I hope she gets there in time.
Yep. Do you reckon we'll see her again?
Don't you?
Canada's a nice place to live, from what I hear.
Morning, Mr. Bowen.
Morning, Ivy. Tell me, is your living room a tip? Can't put a cup down for scissors, papers and a load of rubbish?
I hope not.
Must be wonderful.
I see. Susan's bringing her work home, is she?
Home? What home?
Now, come on.
I'm thinking of trying the Salvation Army tonight. You think they'd take me in?
I think you're very proud of her, I do, setting to with these ideas of hers.
She's got a mate of hers from Newcastle helping her. Between them, I don't stand a chance.
And you wouldn't have it any other way, you know you wouldn't.
It always happens around this time in the morning. In fact, it's this time in the morning that makes it happen. I'm convinced we have...
Running a bit late, aren't you?
Strap went on my paper bag, didn't you? I had to look it round under my arm, it nearly killed me.
I trust you complained to the management?
I did. Mavis has promised to buy me a new one.
Regardless of expense. I've done you some bacon.
Oh, Tar.
Careful, plate's hot.
Explain the role of the opposition in Parliament.
Me?
Do you know?
Of course I do. It's that lot that shout rhubarb and rubbish whenever Margaret Thatcher says anything.
Thank you, but I don't think it's quite as simple as that.
I wouldn't call that simple. I wouldn't dare say it. That's your homework, isn't it?
Yeah, part of it.
I thought you were doing that last night.
I had some music to do, so I was doing that.
You were doing that when I went out to meet Mavis at 7 o'clock. What happened to the rest of the evening?
I got watching this filmed in town telly. I thought, I'll just have a break for 5 minutes. And then I thought, I'll watch a bit more and... Well, before I knew where I was, the evening was over.
Oh.
It was a rotten film and all.
Well, may I suggest next time you finish your homework first and start watching old films second?
Yeah. The opposition questions the government on its policies and points out its mistakes. Like you've just been doing with me. A very good example, that.
Well, and what did you get up to last night?
Not you as well, Phyllis.
I've just been asking him that.
Did you get on with the homework as she was talking about?
She didn't need any help. That was just an excuse to lure him round there.
Oh, I say that for little madam. I could tell. She reminds me of myself when I was her age.
Martin thinks she's too young for him.
Get away, you're only 18 yourself.
She's only 50.
And still at school.
And still at school.
What does age matter so long as you click?
Go easy on him. I think he's feeling bad enough about it as it is.
Oh, that's what upset, was
Yeah,
she?
seems to be. Then there's this party he's going to tonight. She wants him to take her, but he won't, because he reckons he'll all be older than her.
Oh, dear. Hey, did you tell her to sling your out?
Phyllis?
Not quite in those terms, Phyllis, no.
Well, sir, how you dress it up, she'll have got your message.
Don't mind her.
Well, you see my point of view, don't you? I mean, she's nice and I like her, but...
She's too young.
She's too young, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Hilda. I was wondering where I'd left that.
Oh, yes, it's very nice. Looks as if it might have been a present from somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I won't ask who.
Why not? So with you. You're all right, aren't you? You're not sitting in for summer.
I'm perfectly all right, thank you very much. Just don't believe in putting my nose in where it's not wanted.
Alec bought it me. Alec Gilroy.
Oh. Yes, well, like I said, it looks very nice.
There's a cup of tea for you in there, Hilda, when you want it.
Right, I'll finish off in here after. Have I got news for you?
Go on then, Hilda. I've not read a paper all morning.
They're on to presents now. Who is? Her and Milado. He's given her a cigarette lighter.
Who? Gilroy has?
Yeah. Not one of them cheap ones neither. Gold, I think. I was in there dusting round and I come across it. Oh, thank you, she says. I was wondering where I'd left it. And then, bold as brass, Alec bought me that. Alec Gilroy. Well, perhaps she's run out of matches. Of course, I never said very much. I just said very nice and left it at that.
There's no point in fooling herself anymore. He's serious.
Oh, you'll think so when you see it.
He is after taking over this place, lock, stock and barrel, which is not good news because I have worked for him before, I tell you, and I don't fancy working for him again.
Wouldn't have you, would he?
Yeah, well, no, no.
I like being married. I like being married to Mike. Good. Don't think it's turned out as he expected, though.
No?
I think he expected me to be pregnant by now.
Oh.
But I told him I want my career first. I mean, I can understand how he feels. He is a lot older than I am, but... Well, if I gave in, I'd only resent him for it, and that wouldn't be a good thing, would it?
How old is he?
44. I mean, it's not that ancient, is it? And in other ways, it's great because he's had such a different life from me. We've got so much to talk about. When I meet lads of my own age, they all seem so immature.
And he's accepted it, has he? That you're not going to start a family yet?
Not got much choice, has he?
Only me.
We're just making some sandwiches.
Oh, great.
You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. This is the little boy's outfit, is it?
Yep, it's the one you said you liked. And she done well. It's all been done this morning, that has.
Does it look all right?
Well, it's very professional.
Thanks.
But it's not all right, no.
Oh.
Why, what's the matter?
I'll tell you, shall I?
Well, I think you should. We've been slogging away at it all morning.
Well, it's got too complicated. I mean, you got all these pockets, right? You got double collar, top stitching, and then well, you got twice as many buttons as you need. It's just too complicated.
Yeah, well, that's your opinion.
And because it's complicated, it's going to take you more time in the cutting, more time in the sewing. That means your costs go up right the way down the line. But as you say, it's only my opinion, and I've only been in the business 30 years.
Look, I'll worry about the cost. This is not Baldwin's Casuals. This is hopscotch.
Oh, is that what you're calling it?
Yes.
Well, that's fair enough, but it's Baldwin's Casuals where you're going to get it made up, isn't it? And that means Ida, Clough, Vera, Duckworth, and the rest of my not-so-highly skilled workforce. They're going to throw a pink fit when they see this. And so will you, when you see what they make of it. Now, never mind the cost, if you like. I'm just telling you, it is far too complicated for the people that are going to be working on it. Now, did someone mention sandwiches? In there, are they?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sue.
No, it's not your fault.
There you are, 15 pence change, which you can either put in your pocket or if you're feeling very generous, in there.
Oh, I can I?
Oh, come on, Percy, Christmas is coming.
Geese are getting fat.
Aye, go on then.
Good lad, Percy.
There we are. I suppose Mrs. Hobbs is included in this, is she?
What do you mean?
Well, it says staff on that box. I would have thought she was an invaluable member of it.
Kind of you to say so.
No, it's for bar staff only, that.
Hey. What do you mean it's just for bar staff? What is there on there that says it's just for bar staff?
It is on bar, it is for bar staff.
Well, that's not my understanding of it.
Nor mine, neither.
Thank you, Percy.
Ali?
Bet?
Well, we've remembered each other's names. Irish, is it?
Well, actually, it planned to be very nice.
How are you today?
I'm on top of the world. I feel like a young man again.
Oh, not too young, I hope. I'll not be able to serve you then.
No, I feel as though life's beginning to open up for me. I got out of that graffiti joint and business is starting to take off and then there's other more personal things.
Why?
Aye, which is why I'd like to celebrate tonight. Let's go and paint the town. What do you say?
Tonight?
Oh, it's got to be. I can't wait till tomorrow. Come on, say yes.
Yes. Whoops. Was that me saying that?
Do you know, I think it was.
She's off out again with him tonight.
He obviously wants to get full use out of his lighter. I think you better have a word with her, Betty, and tell her what Gilroy's up to you.
Me? Why should I do your dirty work for you?
But you're a mate, aren't you? These things come better from mates.
She usually comes in here at dinner time.
It's all my fault, this.
No, it's not.
Well, yes, it is. If I hadn't got that pattern wrong.
Then he'd have found something else to moan about. Like I was telling you, he wants everything his way. Well, he's not going to get it. Here she is. Ivy, can I introduce you to Cheryl? She's going to be designing those kids' clothes we're going to be making.
Oh, hello.
Hello. We were wondering if you could give us a bit of advice.
Ah, well, now it depends on what sort it is you're after.
Are you doing anything tonight?
No, nothing particular, no.
I mean, we call it overtime. I'm not asking you to do anything I'm not willing to pay for.
Oh, that don't matter, love.
Yes, it does. If I picked you up about 7, how would that be?
Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for any more help with my homework.
I didn't see you coming.
No, I didn't think you had. Otherwise you'd come rushing over, wouldn't you? Anyway, I hope you enjoy your party tonight.
I'll probably be a drag. You know what these parties are like.
No, I don't actually. Not ones for older people. The other ones I know about are the ones where they serve pop and Chris and play pass the parcel. See you.
Oh, and what are you doing here?
I had a free period, so I thought I'd have a walk. Sam's getting back though. See you.
Oh.
Hi.
She hasn't had a dinner in here, has she?
No, just a can of Coke.
Oh, only she's supposed to have school dinners, you see, that's all. I'll have 2 custard slices, please.
I say I've been telling him he'll get a reputation for breaking hearts and then none of them will have out to with him.
Pardon? She means Martin.
You can tell she's still keen the way she made a beeline for him just now.
Jenny.
Jenny came in here to see Martin.
Well, I think the coke were an excuse more than to do with her feeling thirsty. 60p, please.
Oh. And how long has this been going on? Because it's the first I've heard of it.
Oh, not long. I think last night were beginning and end of it, from what I could tell.
Last night?
When they were round at your house. Hey, don't tell me little devils were somewhere else.
No, it was me that was somewhere else, thinking Jenny was at home doing her homework. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to hear all this story from the beginning.
I thought you'd gone, Betty, love.
Yeah, well, I got as far as the door and then well, there's something I want to ask you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, you'll perhaps say that it's none of my business. Well, it isn't really, you see, but...
Oh, spit it out, Betty, love. We've known each other for too long for you to have to go all round houses about it.
It's about Alec Gilroy.
Yeah?
Well, you seem to be very friendly with him these days. I mean, you know, you're going out again with him tonight.
Yeah.
And you know he's not managing that club anymore, don't you?
I do know that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he's probably after somewhere else, wouldn't you think?
I don't know what his plans are, Betty, love. I'll ask him, though, if you like.
Oh, you know what I'm getting at.
Well, how can I tell you? Tell me.
Well, perhaps he's got designs on taking this pub over.
But this pub's already got a manager, Betty.
I know it has, love. And you know what I mean, I know.
You mean he wouldn't be that keen on taking me out if I was still only a barmaid? Yes, OK, I've got the message loud and clear.
Well, I mean, it's with him being that type of fella, you know.
Oh, you'd know about that type, would you?
Well, I know what they're saying about him.
And they, being Jack Duckworth and other reliable character witnesses? I'd rather trust my own judgment than theirs, thanks all the same.
Look, love, I'm only talking like this because, well, I mean, I don't want you...
Making a fool of myself.
Yeah.
I don't mind, Betty. I know what folk are saying. I'm grateful to you for saying it to my face instead of behind my back.
But you think I'm wrong?
No, lovey. I think you're probably right.
Oh.
But you see, I like Alec, Betty.
Yeah.
He's good company. He makes me laugh. He looks after me. Now, if part of that is because I happen to be the landlady of this pub, so be it.
Oh, I see.
I have got a mirror upstairs, Betty, and I have looked in it. I'm not kidding myself. I'm a 20-year-old dolly bird anymore. So if one of the reasons that Alec finds me irresistible is because my name happens to be on the licence plate above that front door, I'm not blaming him for it. Why should I?
Well, no. As long as you both know what you're doing, lovey.
Oh, I think we do, Betty. And the main thing is we're both enjoying doing it.
What do you want for your tea?
Out.
I thought I'd do with some fish.
Oh, not fish.
Oh, well, how about an omelette then? So when you say out, you mean anything apart from fish or an omelette or perhaps half a dozen other things I could mention?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way...
What?
Young Martin from the cafe was round here last night, wasn't he? And don't deny it, because I know he was.
Well, he came round for an hour or so. No reason why I shouldn't, is there?
All right. All right, I'm not accusing you of anything. Just wondered why you didn't tell me, that's all.
Forgot.
I see.
Well, he came round to help me with some homework. At least that was the idea. He turned out to be worse at it than I am.
Do you like him?
It's all right.
Yes, I've always thought he was a pleasant enough young man. Have you seen him again, or what?
What do you want to see him again for? Like I said, he was hopeless.
Oh, right. Only in future, if you do happen to have anybody back, perhaps you'd let me know.
Well, it won't be him.
Whoever it is.
He wanted me to go to a party with him tonight.
But you told him no?
Well, I didn't fancy it. Certainly like they'd all be a lot older than me anyway.
Well, I hope you didn't hurt his feelings.
He'll get over it. There'll be a lot of other girls at this party. He'll probably be glad he went without me.
He probably will. How about beef burgers for your tea? How does that sound?
I have to admit he's been very good lately, has Brian.
Yes, of course to be, I know.
I mean, take this morning, for example. He knew I was going to the hospital, so he picked Nicky up from school and gave him his tea, and I'm going to take over in about 10 minutes.
Well, I meant to ask you, how did you go on?
Oh, fine. I had my scan and everything's as it should be. But don't ask me whether it's a boy or a girl, because I said I didn't want to know, even if they did.
Oh, I was going to start knitting. I don't know what colour wool to buy.
Yes, young man.
Pint of bitters, please.
Hey, Betty, love's young dreams.
Right, Betty, we're off. See, everywhere's locked up, won't
Yeah.
you? God knows what time we'll be back.
Well, enjoy yourself, love.
Hey, got a warning for you. If you don't get her back before midnight, bits of her turn into a pumpkin.
I heard that.
Good night, Jack.
Thank you.
Do you think I should pack it in now, Betty, and make it easy for him?
Look, I think she knows Mr. Gilroy a little bit better than you're giving her credit for.
See what? She knows he's a conniving little spy. What's she going out with him for?
Because she likes him, because he makes her laugh. The pint was it, love?
He makes her laugh. I've heard everything now. I've spent most of my life trying to avoid making women laugh, and now I find that's what they're after.
Are you?
Aye.
Right.
All set for your party?
Oh, I suppose so. I'm not keen on parties, though. I don't think I'm suited to them.
Hey, you've not changed your mind and you're taking them?
I'm not taking anyone.
Hey, well, I'm free if you're desperate, and you couldn't say I was too young.
You don't have to answer that. Just have a good time, eh?
Nice one. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, when Cheryl comes to doing the patterns for the girls' outfits...
Yes, but I just think you need to cut down on the number of pleats a bit. I mean, it's not that they can't be done, but, well, they don't absolute job up.
Yeah, I'll remember.
And otherwise?
Well, they all look very nice to me. I can't see no problems.
Before you start, I know everything's in a terrible mess, but we'll clean it up, I promise. How was Todmorden?
Terrible.
Have you eaten?
Nope.
Do you want a drink first?
I think I need one.
Evening, Mr. Bowen.
Evening, Ivy.
We've just asked Ivy to come round to give us the benefit of her advice.
Oh, yeah? And what advice was that?
Well, I've just been looking at this pattern Cheryl's done.
We've reworked the one you saw at dinner time, and Cheryl's made it a bit less complicated, just a bit. And Ivy says that the way it is now, it shouldn't give your workers any problems at all.
Oh, she does she?
Well, that's just the way it looks to me, Mr. Bowen.
Have a look for yourself.
Me? Why? I mean, if Ivy's looked and she said OK, well, what's the point in me looking?
Just come in here a minute, Mike, will you, please?
Excuse me, ladies.
Oh, what's going off? Look, I don't want to have a row about this.
I'll second that.
I listened to what you said at dinner time, and Cheryl's been working all afternoon redoing those patterns, and we just needed someone with a bit of practical experience to tell us if they were OK or not for your machinist.
So you wheeled Ivy in for the seal of her approval?
If you want to call it that.
Therefore cutting the ground from under my feet, so the only thing I could do was approve. Oh, nice one.
No, that wasn't why. I wanted to get things right, on my own, without bothering you.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't, Mike, honestly.
OK.
Let's be friends, eh?
Oh, definitely. You're far too clever to have as an enemy.
We better go back in.
Anything you say.
Right, well, I think I'd better be going.
You're not going anywhere, not yet. You've all done a great job by the sound of it, and I think we should have a drink to the future of this little enterprise. So, what you going to have?
Oh, can I have a brandy, please?
I'll get them, shall I?
Because I think it's got a great future. Can't fail, considering the ruthlessness of its leadership.
Do you want to watch this?
No.
No, neither do I. Takes all the excitement out of reading tomorrow's papers. And tomorrow, as they say, is another day.
You what?
Just thought you seemed a bit down, that's all.
No,
As if you've something or somebody on your mind.
I haven't.
No, well, just in case you had, I'm saying. Tomorrow's another day. Plenty more fish in the sea.
Oh, Rita, if you mean Martin, then I've told you. I'm not bothered about him. And he obviously isn't bothered about me, so we're both happy, aren't we?
I'm very glad to hear it.
Hiya.
Well,
Sorry if it's a bit late. No, I just wondered if I could have a word with Jenny. That's if it's not too late.
I'd say you were in the nick of time. Oh, young man to see you. So forget what I was saying about tomorrow and more fish in the sea.
Well, weren't much of a party.
Now, not even with those older, more sophisticated people doing the mature things?
Well, that's just it, you see. Everyone was older and more sophisticated than I am. Which isn't saying much, I suppose. So, anyway, I left, you know, and I was passing, so I thought, come and see how you were.
Do you want to listen to some tapes?
Yeah, all right, as long as it's not reggae. That's all they had at this party.
Not reggae. We're just going up to my room, Rita, all right?
What, after all you were saying?
I don't remember saying anything.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it's not so warm out there.
Oh, well, it was not hot in here.
Hey, don't worry, we'll soon have it warmed up.
Oh. Hey, what was that joke that comedian told?
Which one?
You know, that one I said I wanted to remember.
I don't know, do I? Hey, he wasn't bad though, was he? Had some good material.
Oh.
He knew how to work an audience.
Dear.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh,
Well, here's to us.
to us.
Enjoyed yourself?
Do you know I have, Alec? I really have.
So, we get on all right, you and me, don't we?
Birds of a feather.
I suppose we are a bit when you get down to it. In fact, I'd like to think that we might, well, we might have a future together.
We might.
I mean, you don't meet many people in this life, do you, that you can really get on with them? At least I don't. Oh, I can talk to folk. I mean, talk to anybody, really.
Well, you have to in our line, don't you? Pubs, clubs.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not many where there's a real affinity, you know, a real understanding, and I think we've got that somehow.
Talking about pubs, I know one thing.
What's that?
I'm glad we didn't meet up 5 years ago.
Why do you say that? Although I must admit, I feel younger now than I did 5 years ago. It was a bad time for me 5 years ago. But I'm sorry I interrupted. Go on.
Well, I was only a barmaid then, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't have had the same attraction, would I? I mean, come on, be honest.
You are joking, aren't you?
No, I'm telling you the truth, Alec. There's no need to be scared of the truth. All troopers like us. We're hardly Romeo and flipping Juliet, are we? No. I'm being straight with you, Alec. I want you to be straight with me.
I don't believe this.
Well, I mean, now I'm a landlady, well, sort of. And you must be aware of that. I know I would be in your shoes, and, like we said, two of a kind.
You think I'm after you because of the pub?
No, all I'm saying, it comes into it where it'd be daft if it didn't.
Well, it's not true.
Oh, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have looked at me twice, admit it.
Look, I think I better go, Bet.
Hey, why? What's up?
What's up? What's up is I've grown very fond of you, Bet.
Yes, same here.
No, of you. Not the landlady of the Rovers, of you.
Well, it don't matter then, forget it.
What do you mean, doesn't matter? No, come on, you think I've been dishonest with
No.
you. Well, I haven't, Bet. I don't want this pub, I never have. It's you I wanted.
Well, I haven't changed.
No, but I have.
Alec!
What's that for?
Oh, I don't want it. You eat it.
Well, I don't want it either. I've had enough.
Eat it. I don't like sausages.
Why? Why are you always giving me your leftovers?
Because you're my husband, and husbands are dustbins. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, well, why can't you just leave it?
You know very well why I can't just leave it. Come on now, get your breakfast down. You are not having you just skin and bone.
Yeah, she's right and all.
Oh. Will you still love me when I'm 64 stone?
Yeah, of course I will.
Oh.
Oh, hey. Don't you two ever do out else but kiss each other?
Yeah, but we're not going to tell you what.
Oh, you're a terrible lot, you kids. When I think what I was like at your age.
Yeah, you was married at her age, you've told me.
Yes, I know I was married, but I still behaved myself. Especially in front of me elders and betters. Oh, you cheeky young madam.
Hey, I got your washing machine though, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, love. And I must say it's a godsend. Flipping sight better than traipsing down to the laundrette.
Yeah, I'll wash them in the sink.
Yeah, or washing them in the sink. Now, with a bit of luck, that load should be ready by the time I come back from the Rovers, so I'll get it pegged out and then I'll put your bedding in. If there's anything else you want to go in, just make sure you leave it where I can find it.
No, I've got my blue sweater out upstairs, but I forgot to bring it down. I'll leave it on the banister for you.
Oh, they're an ignorant lot, aren't they, Chuck? I don't put your best woolies in the machine. They have to be hand-washed.
No, you didn't know that, did you? No. Hey, tell you what you can do.
After you've washed his sweater, don't wring it out, and I'll hang it on line by its shoulders like they do.
You what? Oh, you're worse than him, you. You do that little stretcher mile, it'll come down to his knees.
Oh, mine. And if I wear my new gold belt with it. Woo!
Oh, by the heck, you want to keep your eye on this one.
I always do, Mrs. O. Can't do nothing else.
And you better not start either.
Got myself a right little cracker here, didn't I, Mrs. O?
Oh, she knows that.
Yes, that I do. But you can stop preening yourself, madam. You didn't do so bad neither.
I know. I love him even if he is my husband. And just to prove it, Mrs. Ogden, when you give me one of them lovely sausages for my breakfast tomorrow, I'm going to give it to him. Now, what do you think of that?
Hey, greater love hath no woman.
I thought you'd gone off him.
Oh, Martin. Well, yeah, for a bit. But he's not a bad lad. Got on quite well, actually.
So I gathered. It had turned 11 by the time we finally opted. And I'm not sure I like him going up to your bedroom. I know your cassette player's up there, but you could always bring it down here.
What? I never you complaining about the row. Anyway, what's wrong with taking him up to my bedroom? I always take Debbie up when she comes.
Well...
Yeah, I know, 'cause she's a girl and he's a lad. There ain't much difference, really, you know. All we do is play cassettes and talk a bit. He's very interesting.
I'm sure he is. Now, look at it from my point. I'm only looking after you. It's your dad I'm thinking about. I have to pretend that I'm him.
Well, great. You pretend you're him, pretend Martin's Debbie, and that's it, innit? We've cracked it.
Too clever by far, you kids.
Yeah, you don't like being at your age, do you?
And too cheeky and all.
Morning.
Why, Martin?
All right,
Come.
cheers.
Martin.
I've just popped down to give you that eurythmic steak, I promise you.
Oh, Ta.
Sam?
Fat. You can walk me to school if you want. Save me from the morning muggers.
Gotta go to work.
Like Debbie does.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, them kids. Best day's work I ever did in my life, letting them lodge with me. They keep you young, you know.
Do they? Nip out and get me a couple.
What for? You behaving like a lovesick kid yourself?
No, well done.
Where's Betty?
She's in back making coffee.
Oh.
Nip through, tell her you've arrived. Will you make a start on living room while you're there, love?
Right. Oh, morning, Betty.
Morning, Hilda. Your coffee's on the draining board, love. The water's only just boiled.
Right, thank you kindly.
OK, love.
Where's my biscuit?
You never have a biscuit.
I'm breaking the pattern, aren't I? It's time something got brought round here.
All right. Do you want one?
No, I want two. One cream, one chocolate.
Oh, blimey. Oh, I've got it. Rover's return. Oh, hello, it's you. What did you want, Bet? Oh, hang on a minute. Right, that's 5, 3, 2, 1. Right, got it. What name? Oh. Are you sure you don't want to have a word with Bet? She's here. No. Right, thank you.
Who was that cop, Brewery?
No, him as thinks he owns it. Your pal Alec. He says if you want to know more about that pickpocketing act which is suggested, you can get him on this number. His name's Richardson.
Did he not want to speak to me?
No. No, and before you go on at me, I asked him twice. Something gone wrong? Oh, right, whichever way you look at it.
Oh, I don't know, Betty. I'm the last person to ask. I'm not like you and the rest of them, thinking he were only after me for the pub. But at the same time, I can't see what else he could be after me for. And that's what I told him. I said we could still be best of mates, but, well, from the way he's behaving, that doesn't seem to be what he wants. So what does that mean? He's serious? He's kidding again? Oh, I'm getting too old for this sort of caper.
Well, you weren't serious about him, though, were you?
Well, why not? He made me laugh. There's a heck of a lot to be said for a fella that can do that. Did you not have a giggle or two with your Cyril?
Yeah, of course we did. That's why it lasted so long.
Well, there you go then. You know what it's all about. It covers a multitude of sins, does that? I'm not kidding myself. If we'd have got hitched, there'd have been waves crashing on shore and lightning flashing. But we could have enjoyed ourselves. We could have got dolled up, gone on town, and kidded on with Mayor and Mayoress of Staley Bridge. Hey, knowing him, we'd have got away with it. It's not going to happen, though, is it? He weren't doing much laughing when he left here last night.
I still think it's all for the best, love.
Do us a favour, Cock.
Well,
stick that in the microwave for a minute.
Right.
Oh, look. Hey, aren't they lovely?
That's a good job you're not a window cleaner.
What's that? Because you're all stood back admiring your own work.
You're smarter than she's had.
Yeah, a lot of good it does me, doesn't it? Hey, is it right what I hear? You're getting paid extra for making them things.
Only if you finish them on time. It's normal enough with something special. Come on, it's happened before either.
Well, why can't the rest of us have a spare share?
Don't talk so daft. We're still doing old stuff, aren't we? That's his bread and butter, love. I mean, for all we know, this stuff might never even reach shops.
Yeah, it's only natural to have his best machinist on a job like this. I mean, it's not daft.
Oh, not when it suits you.
Well, everybody's daft when it suits me.
Morning, ladies.
Morning.
How are the samples going?
All right. Well, at least we're hoping to have them all done by tomorrow afternoon.
Great.
Hey, and I've just been telling them it's because you've got best machinists on the job.
Must be Vera.
Hey, how about getting your husband to model these for us?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'd be delighted. Wouldn't you, love?
Well, now what?
Be delighted to model these for us.
Do you want to stand here cracking jokes all day, or do you want to hear the latest news on the project?
Oh, we want to wait latest news, don't we, girls?
Oh, yeah.
You do, you're getting paid for it.
We could all be getting paid for it. I've just been on to 1 or 2 retail outlets, see if there's any interest in this sort of stuff, and I've got a very positive feedback. So come on, let's get on with it, shall we? Don't want them knocking on the door for the merchandise and we've got nothing ready for them.
Well, don't you think that we
Now,
ought
don't you jump the gun. Like I said, let's get cracking, get the samples out. And all I want for you to do is to fill the order books. And who knows, may all finish up with a few extra bob.
They're a very good idea, these boxes, you know, and I shall tell you why. Because a lot of people get embarrassed with tipping. I mean, actually handing the money over. But putting it in a box is different, isn't it? It's sort of impersonal. You do get my drift, do you, maybe?
Yes, I do.
I don't always tip in of any sort. Why should you pay somebody extra for doing the job right? Knock a bit off if you get bad service. Now, that's fair enough.
Why don't you shut up? It's got nothing to do with you. I mean, this isn't your average tipping, is it? I mean, this is Christmas, season of goodwill. Time to show your appreciation for all the happy hours you've spent in here and all the laughs you've
What
had.
laughs?
Told you, shut up. How about it, Mary?
I'm sorry, I'm short of change.
Yes, take my tip. You leave it that way and all. Seems everybody's short of change is out in the box.
You think you're flaming clever, you, don't you? Well, I open that every night, and you should have seen the amount I got out of it yesterday. So you did. See, they're all outgoing folk round here. Present, company accepted. All nice, warm, generous, warm-hearted.
I'd leave money and just say it's a bigger impression if we can rattle something.
What, so one of you so-and-so's can flaming nick it on your bike?
Oh, she's a lovely writer, isn't she, Gloria?
Yeah, having a nice time by the sound of it.
Yeah. Oh, they're all over the world at the moment, aren't they? I mean, Gloria in Toronto, Alan in Dubai.
Has Rita heard from him?
Yeah, she had a letter this morning.
Oh, lovely.
That's what I said, but seemingly I put my foot in it, as usual. Well, apparently he's been asked to stay on, like, have his contract extended, which is good in many ways, but of course Rita's missing him. So she didn't know whether to be happy for him or sad for herself.
Oh, poor love. Still, we've all got us cross to bear, haven't we?
Hey, do you want another?
No, thanks, love. No, that just filled the bill. It's not that I don't like working at Mrs. Lowther's, but, well, it's not an easy house to clean.
Oh, I know, you've told me.
Still, she's very good to me at Christmas, bless her. I always get a nice tip.
Hey, yeah, talking of tips, Aunt Jack Duckworth got a box at the Roversford staff. Well, are you included in that?
Oh, yeah, I'm included for what it's worth. Mind you, if I'm any judge, nobody'll put them out in. And knowing Jack Duckworth, he'll walk off with a lot.
That doesn't say much for your share, that, does it?
No, it doesn't, does it? Hello, who's this?
Yes?
Mrs. Ogden,
That's right.
is Sally Webster in? Sally Seddon as was. I'm a relative.
You've not come to make trouble for her, have you?
I hope not. I'm hoping she'll be glad to see me.
Oh, you best come in then.
Ta.
You go on through.
All right.
Oh, Uncle Tom!
Ah, it's grand to see you, love.
Oh, this is me Uncle Tom, Mrs. Ogden. He's my very favourite uncle. Oh, I didn't let you know, did I? I didn't let you know I was getting married.
No, you did not.
Oh.
You could have knocked me down with a feather when your mother told me. Sally's mother's my sister. I just popped round on one of my duty calls. I didn't stay.
Me Uncle Tom don't get on with me dad.
Oh, well, he's one of us then. Here, sit yourself down. I'll get you
Oh,
a tea.
thanks very much.
Stay and see Kevin, Uncle Tom. It won't be long. He worked overtime on last night.
Oh, you like Kevin?
I doubt it, Mrs. Ogden. He's married me girlfriend.
Oh, Uncle Tom.
That's the washing up done.
Do you fancy a trip out, Cocker?
Oh, yeah, where?
Well, I thought I'd order some flower arrangements for Christmas. Brewery's told me to spend a bit. I suppose the best shop to go would be that place where Eddie Yates' wife used to work.
Oh, they've moved now, you know. Oh, it's a tidy walk. Hey, didn't you have a bit of a sector with her as owns it? You know, Mark Baldwin's old girlfriend.
That's all over and done with now. What do you say? Shall we treat ourselves to 2 penn'orth bus after we've had us coffee?
Yeah, smashing. Be a change. Smell of flowers.
Well, you picked yourself a good-looking lad. Got a good job and all, finishing halfway through this afternoon.
Oh, he was at it till 8:30 last night.
I'm only kidding him, love. Well, now that I've met your husband officially, I can do what I came for. Even though I didn't get an invitation to the wedding. Oh, it's all right, lovey. I'm still kidding you. Don't worry. I know how things must have been for you. Aye, and how they're going to be and all. It's no easy time for these kids getting married, is it, Mrs. Ogden?
No, it certainly isn't. Here, I'm just nipping next door to get some up for us teas. You're stopping, aren't you?
Aye. Oh, here, I forgot. That's Mrs. Ogden, that carrier bag, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've got 2 extra mouths to feed, I thought a few choice fruit and veg wouldn't come amiss. And there's a tin or 2 of luncheon meat in there, will do for us tea.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have spent money on all this.
Spent out, Mrs. Ogden. I'm a greengrocer. Aye, and a daft and all. God, I've forgotten to give you a wedding present. There you are. That's me, that is. Too idle to go and choose a proper wedding present, so spend it on whatever you want to, you know, such as it is.
£50? Oh, Uncle Tom, are you sure?
Yeah, I only wish it could have been more, lass.
Thanks very much. Oh, you're definitely stopping for your tea, you are.
Tell you the truth, Mrs. Ogden, I were hoping it'd have that effect.
Right, there's the deposit. You do deliver, don't you?
Oh, yes, the van boy will bring them all round. I heard about your fire. You got over it, did you?
Oh, yes.
Excuse me.
They'll be smashing them flowers, won't they? They've been wasted on the old place.
How's Mark's tummy?
Oh, fine. I think he was just playing up.
Only there's a Punch and Judy man down at play school. It's a bit of a special occasion, so would he like to come and see him?
Oh, I'm sure if he's not feeling better already, that'll do the trick. Jane will be back soon, so I can come collect him. Mark! There's a Punch and Judy man at play school. Do you want to go with Auntie Sandra?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Come on, then. Let's make you presentable. Oh, sorry, we're through, aren't we?
Yes, thanks very much.
Was that Mike Baldwin's little lad?
Yes. That's what you get if you don't behave yourself.
Oh. Haven't you got any that say, sorry, I missed your birthday?
No, I'm afraid we haven't.
She'll go mad with me.
Who's this, a girlfriend?
No, it's my Auntie Margaret. It's today and I forgot. Yeah, I'll get that with the dogs on. She likes dogs.
That's a nice
How
one.
much is that then?
Are you following me?
Oh, cheers. Are you? No.
Oh, it must be me following you then. Hey, coming round tonight?
Oh, I can't go with my aunties tonight.
It's her birthday.
Oh, it's my musical appreciation tomorrow. Hey, can I take you to school with me?
Don't be silly, Jenny.
Hey, I'm only having him on.
Good.
All the same I could do with you, though. You're the only one who gives me any confidence.
Hey, don't be daft. Stand on your own feet. You're perfectly capable of doing it on your own. Just get up there and show them.
See? If we go for a cup of tea, will you give me a shout when papers are ready?
Aye, go on.
See you. Come on.
See you. Thanks a lot. See you.
I don't know what you're worried about. He's a nice lad.
There's a world of difference between an 18-year-old lad who's left school and a 15-year-old girl who hasn't. And I'm responsible for her. And I'm frightened to death of anything going wrong. So don't interfere, please.
Sorry.
Down up here, I won't stand for that.
Well, that was a great success. Oh, good. You're here. Maggie, meet Susan. From, where was it again?
Hopscotch Kids. Oh, that's a nice name.
Susan's bringing out a new range of children's wear and she's looking for a couple of models. And would you believe it? She fancies my Natasha and your Mark. What do you think?
Oh, I'm flattered. Don't know about Mark, though. He's a bit tough for a male model.
Oh, no, all the better. So if it's all right with you, I'll take him over to Susan's place after play school tomorrow. Okay?
No problem. I only hope he doesn't start a fight.
He'll be as good as gold.
Don't let this fool you.
You'll have to watch Natasha, too. She can be a handful when she puts her mind to it. Can't you? Be a handful. Well, I'll take a chance. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'll see you out. The door's a bit tricky.
Right, come on. Do you want to be a man model?
Yeah.
Do you want me to put it in the staff box or shall you? Oh, don't tell me you don't pocket the odd tip. I mean, when you bring cars back from service and that.
That'll be the day. You got to say, please.
Oh, pick 'em up's easy enough. Two in each hand.
That'll need topping up, won't it? Cheers, thanks, Bet. Thank you.
So are you?
I'm just searching for a drop of the milk of human kindness. It's like trying to get blood out of a stone. It'd have been better if you'd have let me organise that cabaret thing, you know.
Well, this is very nice.
Aye, it is. I'm glad I came. Are you?
Oh, of course I am. I can't say I'm sorry.
Oh, listen, love, shut up about that. You're worse than your mother, you. Mind if she's got something to moan about. I know he's your father, love, but as God's my judge, one of these days I'll flatten him.
Yeah, well, there's a queue for that.
Aye, it's a long and an old.
Didn't your wife want to come up here?
She'd have loved to have been with me, Mrs. Ogden, but unhappily she was taken from me 4 years ago. Bless her heart and soul.
Oh, dear, I am sorry. Of course, I'm in the same boat, you know. There's a lot of us, aren't there?
Aye, there are that. I joined the club last year. Aye, you know, these widows and widowers that we're for, in Stockport. We met every Friday night. Got bigger turnouts than county.
Well, it's nice to have a little social life.
Well, I quite enjoyed it myself, but then I'm not one for crowds, you know. I mean, this is just nice.
Well, you must feel free to come and visit us any time you like. I'm sure Sally would want you to.
You might be sorry you said that, Mrs. Ogden.
And, have you always been a greengrocer?
Aye, since I left school. My father took me into the shop and I took it on when he died. In Eton Norris it is, if you know that part of the world. Aye. It's a nice little business, you know, steady and not special, but nice and it goes.
Evening.
Oh, how do you do?
Oh, Percy, this is Mr. Hopwood, Sally's uncle.
Oh, pleased to meet you. Oh. Percy Shogden, Community Centre Superintendent and Neighbourhood Watch Coordinator.
Oh, very good.
You look old enough at war. Did you serve at all?
Aye, they got me for the last 3 years.
I was in the catering corps myself.
Oh, we couldn't have done without you, lads.
By gum, you couldn't. And what were you in?
I was at Cheshire's, my county regiment. Machine gunners.
Oh. Serve abroad at all?
Aye, I did a bit. I joined a battalion in Palestine. And then, of course, it was Syria and Lebanon. And then Sicily and Italy. And then France. And Belgium and Holland. And then finished up in Germany.
Oh.
We were just discussing family matters, Percy.
Well, I'll let you get on with it. We must talk again sometime.
Aye, I'd be glad to.
I'd watch him, Uncle Tom.
Aye.
Bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, he is. He's forever butting in.
One of us, is he?
What?
Widower.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Aye, he'd be lonely. Gets him like that sometimes, you know.
Oh, you're too kind, you know. That's his trouble, you know.
Now to sort, love. It happens to me sometimes, you know. It's only natural. You know, when you're on your own and you see, take a Sunday, for instance, when you're on your own all day at the house and then you go out at night to a pub for a drink. Well, you can't sit by yourself in a corner all night, so you butt in, you know. And sometimes you're welcome, sometimes you're not. But you do it. Mrs. Ogden knows what I mean. Mind you, not that I'm saying you do out like that yourself, but you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh, I do, yes. And I agree with what you say.
Hey, you'd be daft if you didn't, Mrs. Ogden. He knows everything, my Uncle Tom.
Oh, come on, love. There are one or two things I'm not sure of.
Yeah. What's the capital of Brazil?
And would you believe it? You just hit on one of them.
I'll have to get back to booking for Christmas cabaret.
What's this, then, a pub concert?
Oh, well, it's just one or two turns, you know, nothing special.
Yeah, why don't you come?
Oh, come on, love. You know what I do every Christmas. That's the only time at year I take a proper holiday, you know. I have a friend of mine looks after the shop. I take myself off down to my daughter's in Eastbourne. I don't see her and kids very often with them being so far away, like, you know.
Oh, you've got grandchildren, have you?
Oh, aye, a boy and a girl.
Oh, same as me.
Aye.
I don't see much of mine, neither. And they grow up so fast, don't they?
Don't they just, eh? Anyway, now I've found out where you are, I'll come and see you more often.
Oh, you must, Uncle Tom.
You'll be very welcome.
Thank you. Cheers.
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 He's a widower. Got one daughter in Eastbourne. He's got a boarding house down there. He's going down to see her over Christmas and New Year. I think Hilda's after him.
Well, good luck to her. Hey, listen, have you heard from your Muriel yet?
No. Give her a chance. She hasn't left you, has she?
She has. She's been in Vancouver a week. Not supposedly here out, though. I won't for a month or two. She's no letter writer. Hey, heaven knows when I'll see her again.
Well, you're better off without. Do you know, there's times I wish I had to read off it to Canada. Honestly, the more trouble at home. Are you ready for another?
Yes, I was wondering when that purse of yours was going to open.
Same again.
I wonder how Madam Baldwin went on with them kids.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
What for?
Well, it'd be a bit of fun. Hey, what are you still doing here?
Oh, just finishing off a bit of work. I've got this wife of mine who's driving me dotty over this daft scheme of hers, but, well, now my girlfriend's here.
Hey, you sound too good at that. How many girlfriends have you had?
Has Mark Baldwin never seen that little lad of his?
Not as far as I know. She's a right madam, that one. Really laid the law down. Stay away from my kid or else.
Oh, a fine way to talk to his father.
She said it. She meant it and all.
Good. Look, I'm glad you had a good day. Now stop worrying about tomorrow. What do you think I'm going to do with these kids? Clip them round the ear? I love kids.
Yeah, well, you better love these two.
I will. Ask yourself this. If I didn't love kids, why am I so keen to have one of my own, eh? Come on, answer. See, you can't think, eh?
You know what? The bathwater's a really funny colour this morning. Sort of yellow. I thought it was something about looking Chinese.
Yeah, I thought it were a bit murky when I was filling kettle. I'll get on to waterboard when I get to the cabin. No point in doing it now, they won't be out of bed yet.
So we don't think I passed the drinking right. Have we anything drinkable in the fridge?
Have a look. By the way, I shall be writing to your dad tonight.
Again, you only wrote him a couple of days ago.
It's a week, if you must know.
Hey, go on. Hey, don't time flowering and enjoying yourself.
So anyway, are you going to drop him a line? Because I know he'd be glad to hear from you, and you didn't last time, did you?
Yeah, well, I'm not good at letters, so I get all tongue-tied. It's different when I'm talking.
Oh, you can say that again. Well, I think you should force yourself. Because he wants to hear from you, you know. So why don't you sit down and write him a couple of pages tonight?
Oh, well, I might be going out tonight. Depends what Martin's doing.
Hey, considering you're supposed to be swatting, you're doing a heck of a lot of going out. Look, why don't you have a night in, do a bit of revising, and write your dad a letter while you're about it?
Yeah, all right. Well, stop you nagging at me.
Nagging? Me? I'm temperamentally incapable of doing any such thing.
Thank you very much.
Ah, Mrs. Ogden, the very woman. I was going to call out your house, so I've saved myself an errand.
Oh, yes.
Tea test, does that ring a bell? I was telling young Kevin I've got a couple of tea tests over at Community Centre. Just a thing for putting your bits and pieces in when you're going to do a flit.
Well, yes, I dare say. But they're not flitting yet, are they? They've got nowhere in mind and they're quite happy where they are.
That's neither here nor there. The point is, those tea tests have got to be out of the centre today to make room for other stuff. Now, do you want them or don't you?
Well, I'll ask Kevin tonight.
That's no good. They've got to be out today.
Oh, well, we best have them then. But I can't go humping great tea chests about.
No, I'll fetch you across for you. I'll fetch you over at dinner time.
Yeah, right. Oh, no, wait a minute, hang on. I might not be in dinner time. I've got a social engagement. I tell you what, leave me in my backyard.
Wilco, sorry about that. You can carry on serving your customer
Oh,
now.
thank you very much. Are you having that, Mrs. Ogden? Well, I don't know, really. I was thinking of buying it for young Sally.
Oh, she likes cookery, does
Well,
she?
she's never done very much, you know, but with her being a married woman
Well,
now,
there's some lovely recipes in there. I've tried the Hungarian goulash myself. Oh, and there's a lovely illustration there for moussaka.
Hungarian goulash, Masaka, am I hearing right? You're never going to spend good money on instruction of making muck like that, are you?
Well,
do you eat it?
Well, not personally,
Of course
no.
you don't. So I go force it on to young Sally so she can go ladling that foreign muck down young Kevin.
Really, Mr. Sugden, it's excellent food and highly nutritious.
Not in my opinion. How come you can generally spot a foreigner a mile off, eh? Because they look unhealthy. And then when you get close, the breath tells you. Garlic.
Garlic's very good for you.
Yeah, it keeps the vampires away, and no wonder. The best thing you can do, Mrs. Ogden, is let young Sally watch you in your kitchen cooking good English food. I mean, you don't want to buy this rubbish. Spend the money on some good, honest steak and kidney.
Yes, well, I think perhaps I'll leave it for the moment, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mrs. Ogden. Oh, really, Mr. Sugden?
What's the matter?
Oh, Mrs. Ogden was going to buy that. I've lost a sale and young Sally's lost a very useful gift. I mean, you go pushing into other people's business.
Just a minute. Now, if you were young Sally and Hilda Ogden gave you a cookbook, you'd think she was trying to tell you something, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, see what you mean.
Oh, it dawned, has it? If you were being got at.
Well, that never occurred to me.
No, of course it hadn't, because if you'll excuse me saying so, you've got no tact. No tact at all. You just go leaping in upsetting people.
They're going to be really nice, Ivy.
Yeah, well, they start to look somewhat like what buttonholes are done, don't they?
They are going to be done in time, aren't they?
Of course they are, don't worry.
And it's like being up job for Princess Di's wedding dress, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd think so, for all the fuss.
No, fair dues. They are nice children's clothes, though, aren't they?
Yeah, lovely.
I've seen just as good on Salford Market. Hey, we're paying for all this fancy stuff, you know, us workers, so they can fiddle about with haute couture, and it'll come to naught in the finish. Just Mighty Mouse keeping the little woman happy, isn't it?
Hey up. Damn and blast it.
What's up, Ivy?
This machine, I think it's broken.
Well, it can't have.
It can, you know. It's dead temperamental, this thing.
Well, what are we going to do? We've got to get the samples ready this afternoon. The kids are coming to try them out.
What's the problem?
This machine is gone, Mr. Bolt.
We've got to get these samples done, Mike. It's vital.
Well, there's no panic. Just fix the buttonhole to another machine. Vera's. Then Ivy takes over Vera's machine. Bob's your uncle.
Oh, Mike, for a minute then.
Don't mention it all in a day's work to a mastermind. Right, come on, off that machine, Vera.
Oh, great. And what am I going to do?
Don't worry, we'll find something to keep you busy. Right, girls, now, you've been a wonderful audience. I mean that sincerely. Now, let's just get on with the work, shall we?
Mike, for a minute then I was having kittens.
That's okay by me. Anytime you like. As long as one of them's a Tom.
Sorry, Vera.
What are you looking at, Ed?
I mean, I'm not saying Martin isn't a nice lad. He is. It's the age difference that worries me. I mean, that 2 or 3 years to a girl like Jenny. Oh, I don't know. I know she's old for her years in many ways. Mind you, she's not that mature. Girls that age never are. They only think they are. And then again, the world's coming to an end at 8:30 tonight. Front news this morning. Mavis, what's up with you? Are you brooding about summit?
Look, this is a serious question, Rita. Would you say that I was tactless?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, God.
I might think it, mind you. In fact, I do quite often, but I wouldn't say it. And do you know why I wouldn't say it? Because I have tact. Unlike some people I could mention.
Am I too soon?
No, you're just right. Come on through while I get my coat on.
Thank you.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Well, I thought we'd get off if you like. Perhaps have a bite to eat before we go down to allotment. There's a nice little pub close by and they do a decent lunch.
Oh, that sounds very nice, I'm sure.
Well, you want something warm inside you this time of year, don't you?
Yeah.
And my greenhouse is heated, so you'll not be cold in there.
Oh, I'll enjoy it, don't you worry. I don't get that many outings, you know, so I'm not choosy about where I get taken.
Oh, you don't get that many outings, don't you? Well, we'll have to see about that, won't we?
Oh.
Hey, are you set then?
Oh, yes, I'll just put my
Here,
coat
let me
on.
do that.
Oh, thank you.
18p change, Kevin. Shall I put it in the box?
It's like, it's my change, you don't want it?
Oh, come on, Kevin, lad. Christmas is coming, isn't it?
I know it is, and that's why I want me change. I've got a lot of expenses. I'm a married man, remember?
Yeah, well, it serves you right. Don't come moaning to me for sympathy because you won't flaming get it.
How's the staff appreciation fund coming along, Jacko?
Terrible.
Terrible? How's that? Aye, that doesn't sound too healthy.
Yeah, well, they're a miserable lot round here, aren't they?
It's you. You get folks' backs up every time, wagging that damn silly thing under their noses when they want to drink.
Give over. You've got to do that, otherwise you'll get knelt.
You're getting out now by the sound of it. Very worrying to me, is that?
Well, why is it worrying to you? I mean, that box there is between Betty, Hilda and me. I mean, we're staff. You're not staff, you're us.
Exactly, that's why I'm worried. If my customers aren't putting money into that staff appreciation box, what does that tell me? That they don't appreciate my staff. Now, the customer's always right, so my staff must be doing something wrong. Can you fault me so far, Betty?
Well, not so far.
No, so maybe I should be looking for some staff that my customers can appreciate. Thanks, Jacko.
Thanks for what?
Well, for thinking up this staff evaluation scheme in the first place. It's a big help. You see, if I'd have thought it up, you'd have gone on strike.
Now look what you've done. Yeah, I can. What are you?
Give us a large Scotch G&T, please.
A small Scotch and an orange juice, please, Bet.
There are. She's even got her drinking habits organised now.
You don't look to be going short of out to me.
No, he isn't. I've gone off there.
Hey? Oh. The boss's wife, who do you think? I'm with you, Vera. Oh, she's not so bad. You what? Well, I admit I didn't have a lot of time for her at first, but, well, she's not so bad considering.
Considering what?
Well, considering she's never had to graft her all. I mean, well, it's just fell in her lap, hasn't it?
Yeah,
She's coming on them.
Hello, ladies. I'd like to know what you want to drink with me.
Hey, up, what's all this in here? Is it somebody's birthday?
No, it's just a little thank you for all the extra work you've been doing on my hopscotch gear.
Well, some of us haven't done any work on it. We've not been asked.
I still want to know what you'd like to drink. I mean, you never know, Shirley. If things work out, we could all be working on hopscotch gear before long.
You must fancy Hildy, you know, my Uncle Tom.
What do you mean, fancy?
How do you think? I mean, the same way you fancy me?
Not possible, darling.
Yeah, all right. But allowing for age and wear and tear and that, well, he must fancy her, mustn't he? I mean, he doesn't just take anyone round to his allotment, you know. Anyway, it's December, isn't it? I mean, what is there to look at an allotment in December?
So, you reckon they're gonna get it together, do you?
Well, it'd be nice if Hilda got a fella, wouldn't it? I mean, she's always going on about her Stan and what a prince he were and all that. But from what I can make out, she didn't have much of a life, really.
Yeah, maybe not. She seems to think she did.
We're all the same when it comes to fellas as women. We're totally balmy.
I know. I've been telling you that for ages.
You want something?
Waterboard, pal.
Waterboard, eh? Is that right?
We've had a complaint about discoloration. It's your house, is it?
No, I'm just a neighbour.
Oh. Well, I'm supposed to find out who's getting discoloration, you see.
Oh, well, you would be, wouldn't you? Oh, Gordon Bennett, I've done me back with these boxes.
You want to watch it, lifting stuff like that.
You couldn't just help us out, could you?
What do you want doing with them?
Well, they want stacking in there. You could just,
Aye, no bother.
Got you thieving slime, you did, Mrs. Bishop, or you bet your mites now.
Elliot, play.
Help! Police! Help!
Right, I'll put the kettle on if you fancy a cuppa.
Oh, just a job.
Now, I'll have to think where to put this. It'll want sunshine, won't it?
Oh, any windowsill where there's a bit of light.
Oh. Right, well, I'll have a think. Now, make yourself comfortable while I get a brew on.
Oh, thanks very much.
Come on. Okay. Go on, get the door open. What do you think he's doing?
What's to do?
There's somebody in my backyard. Making a right racket, to know.
Man, open it up.
What the hell's going on? Open this flaming door.
Don't just stand there. You're about as much using a crisis as a cardboard chip pan.
Well, what else do you want me to do? I've already rang for the police, haven't I?
I'll nip to one side, I'll shift a plank, my lad will come stumbling out off balance, and when he does, crack him one with that broom handle.
Beggar that for a game of soldiers. You keep your back against that flipping door.
Come on, man.
What's going on? What do you think you're doing?
We've trapped a burglar.
We haven't. I've trapped him.
What, trying to burgle my outside lobby?
I'm trying to break in your house. I lured him into here. Well done, that man.
Ah, well, I rang the police, you see. I came running out when I heard Percy yelling and crying.
You talk about yelling and crying. I just called for assistance in a calm and orderly fashion.
Hey, up. There's the police.
He cracked on here a waterboard man, but I spotted him right off. We wanted them that robbed Emily Bishop.
Oh, well, it's a good job you was here, Percy. I'm ever so great.
Aye. Oh, no, officer. I've trapped a burglary. This man, I've got him here. He's caught.
What's going on?
I've caught a burglary for you. I've made a citizen's arrest.
All right, so you can stand aside. We'll take
Now,
over
watch
now.
it. He's violent. You want your truncheon out.
Where is he? I'll kill the daft old beggar.
Will do. Watch your mouth, you.
He's had me locked in there.
Give him a crack with your truncheon, officer. It's only language you understand.
Look, I'm just trying to do my job, that's all. And I get set on by a lunatic.
Who are you?
A waterboard. What do I look like? Jack the Flaming Ripper?
He's bluffing. Get him locked up.
Hey, hang on. I recognise him. He is from Waterboard. Of course I'm Waterboard.
Right. I'll have your name.
I'm just trying to be a good citizen, as is my bounden duty.
He's an interfering old devil, always was.
He playing the flaming life out of me. I was just about to get my head down to have a kip, and I could hear this barn pot shouting blue murder.
He wants putting away, a bloke like that. Come on, I want your name.
I'll thank you not to talk to me in that tone, young man.
I said name.
Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, Jenny, that was quick, first back.
Well, I'm like lightning, me, when I get my skates on. Hey, where's Rita? She's not gone home, has she?
No, of course she hasn't gone home. She's gone to the wholesalers. You just missed her, actually.
Actually just gone? Yeah. Oh, well, there's not much point hanging around here then, is there? It's boring.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I'm obviously not the only one round here who's lacking in tact.
Eh?
Oh, never mind. Don't matter in the slightest.
It's all right. See you.
Oh, hey up, Ivy. It's playtime.
Oh.
Hello. Have I come to the right place?
Oh, yes, of course you have, love. They're expecting you. Come on, I'll take you in. Hello, you two. Hello. I'm just doing last outfit, but I won't be 5 minutes. Hello. Come, Martha.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, you lot.
I'm just saying, I'm just finishing last outfit, Mr. Holmes, so I'll get back to it.
Right, thanks, Ivy. Oh, you've not met Mike, have you? Mike, this is Sandra who's been so helpful. She's got our models for us.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for bringing him out. You can spare him for an hour or two, huh?
Yeah, that'll be okay. Now, you'll be a good girl, won't you, for Susan?
Oh, of course you will.
Hello, soldier. What's your name?
This is Mark.
It's Mark, isn't it? I bet you like sweets, don't you? Eh? Well, I keep some in my drawer for important customers. Let's see if we can find them, shall we? Eh?
If I come back and pick him up about 6 o'clock, that'll be fine, won't it, Mike?
Yeah, let's see what's there.
Mike?
Yeah? Oh, yeah, sure. Leave them as long as you like. Would you like to take one of those?
You still think I'm just a bit of a kid?
Never said that, did I?
You used to think it, though, didn't you?
I didn't really know you then, no, did I?
You still think it?
No, do I, Eck?
Good. Let's settle then. Hi, Rita.
Hello. Hello, Martin.
I thought you were going to the wholesalers.
I've been. I thought you were doing some revising.
I am.
Don't look like it.
Yeah, well, Martin's helping with my maths, aren't you, Martin?
That's right.
Good. Could do with some help with your maths, as long as it's not multiplication.
This one? Well, the price should be on it. Yes. £6. Thanks very much.
Right.
Redmond the florist.
Hello, Maggie. It's Sandra.
Oh, hi, Sandra. What's up?
I can't get the car to start. I've been trying for 10 minutes.
Well, it could be the battery. Mind you, what I know about cars.
Well, I'm supposed to go and collect the kids from Hopscotch. You couldn't do it, could you?
Oh, sure, I can pick them up. I'm shutting in 10 minutes anyway. But you'll have to tell me the name of the firm. Hopscotch, wasn't it? And the address.
Well, it's off Rosamond Street, a little back street called Coronation Street.
Coronation Street?
Yeah. And the factory's called Baldwin Casuals.
Did you say Baldwin?
Yes. What's wrong?
What's wrong? Everything.
Right. 5:30. Better get opening up.
Sort the door out for us, will you, Betty, love?
What are you doing to that box?
Nothing.
Don't tell lies. I heard you. You're trying to get money out of that.
Oh, would I do a thing like that, Betty?
Yes, you would, in my opinion.
Well, that's very hurtful. You must know I was putting money in.
Put it... Pull the other one.
Look, I was. Look, all these 1p coins were lying on my bedside table. Do you know you get changed when you go to bed? Well, they've been there for ages, and they're all little fiddly things, but they all mount up, don't they?
So, what,
Well, you heard what Bet said. She thinks we're doing no good because the staff appreciation box is doing no good. So I thought I'd get a load of these, put them in, give the box a bit of weight, a bit of rattle. Then she's got no excuse for getting none of the other stuff, has she?
Give over. She's having you on.
Well, you might think so, but when it gets to Christmas and we share this lot out, don't let her see the 1p pieces, will you? Tell her it's all full of 50p's.
Do you know what? You're mad, you.
I heard that and I agree, but why?
Because Betty said it was, you don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps. And how you've got the nerve to walk in here, Percy Sugden, I'll never know.
I can hold my head up. I've done naught to be ashamed of.
Quite right, Percy. I heard what happened. I'm here to tell you I'm on your side.
You what? He locked the waterboard man in Hilda Ogden's petty, and you should have heard him egging the police on to batter him.
He brought it on himself. He was acting very furtive.
You know, we were very lucky him and his mates didn't cut the water off in the street after what you did.
Lucky? Unlucky, you mean? Think of the ale I could have sold if nobody could have made a cup of tea. You're on a free pint, Percy, for a good try.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, if there were more people like Percy who took an interest and had a bit of a go, folks like me wouldn't be so nervous walking up and down the street at night.
Thank you. I was just doing my duty, that's all. Where the police were going on at me, I think I was some sort of public nuisance.
Well, it's not a fly seat bite to eye with the bobbies, but...
Oh, we've got to do something. Look, wait here now while it's...
Now, what are you girls hanging around for, eh?
Well, we thought we'd wait and see what his outfits look like, Mr. Baldwin, didn't we?
God blimey, Vera, you on my premises in your own time. I'm moved. I mean, there's hope for Britain yet.
Are you Bill Sarker?
Yeah, stop me shedding a tear. Let you see what a soft heart I got.
Soft heart? Yeah. Oh,
I bet I'm the best boss you've ever had, I'll tell you. Oh, hello. What have we got here?
Oh, they come in.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Mr. Baldwin?
Oh, they're very, very nice. Well done, Ivy.
Where's the camera?
On the desk, love.
I've got to record this for posterity. The first creation of the world-famous hopscotch race.
Very vivid imagination.
Of course I have. It's very useful.
Say cheese.
Hey, dear, you never give up, do you?
Well, what are you doing here? I mean, what do you want?
Hello, do you like the clothes?
Like I said, you just don't give up, do you?
Do you two know each other?
Come on, Mark. Come here.
Well, is he? I mean, are you his mum?
Oh, don't give me the innocent patter, Mike. I told you to stay away from him, and you said you would. Well, I was stupid enough to believe you, and I should have known better.
Look, I honestly didn't know. I swear.
Liar.
Is that him? Well, he's a lovely little boy.
You stay away from him, Mike. Stay away from both of us. Come on, Mark. Come on, Natasha. Your mummy asked me to take you home.
What's the matter? What's happening?
And you needn't play the innocent either.
What did you mean, Mike? What's happening? Would somebody mind telling me just what that was all about? Right. Well?
Can we get the kettle on first?
What the hell's going on, Mike? How do you know that woman? What did she mean? She told you to stay away from her kid. Why?
It's a long story.
I'm waiting.
Her name's Maggie Dunlop.
I thought she was Mrs. Redman. Mark Redman?
When I knew her, it was Maggie Dunlop.
Ah. So she's the famous Maggie Flower Shop.
So Hilda's gossip didn't entirely fall on deaf ears then?
She told me that you'd lived together. It was ages ago, when we first got together. I told you at the time.
Good old Hilda, showing you the red light.
What she said, as far as I remember, was that it never would have worked. You and Maggie Flower Shop. She thought I was better for you.
She was right.
Didn't bother me. I knew there'd been others. She's very sophisticated. What's she special to you, Mike?
Yeah, but not for the reasons that you think.
Why then?
Because she's the mother of my kid.
Your kid? You mean Mark's yours?
Well, today I had no idea. You know that. Do you think she believed me? You saw her face. Vicious. She always was a cold bitch.
You mean all this time you've got a kid and you never...
I wiped it out. That's what she wanted. God, if only you knew how tough it was. Well, anyway, now you know.
So that makes it all right, does it? Now that it's out in the open.
Oh, it's in the past. It's done with.
Done with? We've been married 7 months and suddenly I find out you've kept a thing like that from me.
Oh, not now, Susan. Just knock it off, will you?
I thought I had a husband I could trust. Now it turns out you're a devious, secretive, diabolical Mike.
Well, I just...
What?
No, I'm sorry. I know it's been a bit of a shock, but I just can't take your emotions on top of this lot. All I know is what's happened this afternoon, well, it's crucified me.
Morning. Now, like a bit of sparkling conversation for getting the day off to a cracking start. You want a cuppa before you go? Oh, carry on, Rita, it gets better. All right, madam, what's with the frosty face?
I'm just not wild about going out delivering papers on a cold, dark, wet, windy, wintry morning, that's all. I'm a bit funny like that.
Don't flan on me, Jenny. If you're out to say it.
Well, if you don't flipping know...
I take it we're referring to last night?
Amazing.
And cut the sarcasm. All right, what did I do that was so terrible?
You only embarrassed me half to death.
Martin understood.
What? That you treat me like a 6-year-old kid?
Jenny, this may come as a surprise to you, but I can remember what it was like to be your age and how easy it is to get carried away.
Oh, please, not the birds and bees stuff.
Know it all, do you?
No.
No.
I thought you liked Martin.
He's a nice enough lad, but he's 3 years older than you. At 20, it makes no difference. At 15, it does.
Oh, come on, he's not like flipping Terry Duckworth.
Well, then I would keep you locked in bedroom.
No need to, I'd let myself in. But I can handle Martin.
Hey, Jenny, love. I wonder how many young girls have said that in their lifetime.
Did you sleep?
Ooh, that spare bed's not too comfortable. You?
I'm still having trouble believing all this. How many other people know?
Oh, does it matter?
It does to me.
Bet.
Bet Lynch?
She's an old mate. I needed someone to... She was terrific. She understood what I went through.
Like I don't, you mean?
I sometimes wonder if you're trying to, Susan.
Hey, is he in yet? No, he's not. I don't know what you're worried about, but once you're actually on time.
She's not worried. She's on pins to find out what all that was about with Maggie Flower Shop last night. Couldn't wait to get here, could you, Petrofta?
Do you think he's going to issue an official bulletin? Or a note on office door telling you whys and wheres for, just for your benefit?
Well, it all seems simple enough to me.
They've both got different lives, haven't they, her and him?
And I mean, she don't want her murky past raking up, does she? Certainly not in front of that little lad of hers. I know I wouldn't.
But with a murky past like yours, I'm not surprised.
Personally, I think it's nobody's business but theirs.
Give over. You're all itching to find out what's going on, just same as I am. Only I'm honest enough to admit it, that's all. Morning, Mr. Baldwin. Do you know, I was just saying it's nearly time to hang up his Christmas stocking.
Oh. You're like a big daft kid. Why do you stop it or do hate it? When you're going to grow up?
Never. Part of my boys.
What's the matter?
I've clipped me flaming neck.
Serve you right. Put it word in your mouth.
Oh.
Brilliant. Hilda has just informed me she'll not be in tomorrow. An higher authority has requested her body.
I thought we were going to get smartened up, you know, for the holiday trade.
Precisely. But when Mrs. Lowther calls, who am I to argue? Never mind, we'll all have to muck in there, chaps.
Oh, blimey. My ankles will be like his flaming balloons come Boxing Day. It's not as if we've got Gloria either.
Oh, we'll cope, Flower. Teamwork, all hands on deck. Dunkirk's, what's up with him?
Clipped me flaming neck doing a balloons.
All right. Are you sure it's not the thought of having to do a bit of extra graft?
That is not only uncalled for, boss, that is unkind.
On the contrary, I'm very kind, me. And I propose to show you what a kind and caring employer you've got.
Oh,
Oh, you're going to get a temping after all then, are you?
Temps come expensive, Bettykins.
Oh.
Even if we could get one at this late date. Whereas Nurse Lynch's miracle cure, on the other hand, comes totally free and without charge. Come with me, my poor little wounded soldier, and allow me to minister to you. Left. Left. Left.
Morning. Everything all right, is it?
Wonderful, thank you, Vera.
Satisfied? She's lying. I can tell I'm an happy woman when I see one. I should have been one for the last 30 years.
Wilcox liked the samples. It's looking good. You free for lunch?
No. Accountant.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, love. I do realise how awful this has been for you, but, well, it's not been easy for me either.
I know you've made it very clear. I keep hearing how upset you are, how you feel. Have you got a clue which you've stirred up for me, Susan?
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know.
No. No, of course you didn't. It was just an unbelievably lousy piece of luck that you chose Mark.
Why did you say you'd wiped him out? How can you wipe out your own child?
She married the other bloke. Mark thinks he's his father. She didn't want me confusing the issue.
You agreed to that?
Had no choice in the end.
Didn't you want to marry her?
Yes, I did. She didn't want me.
See?
Oh, what a mess. Still, I'll tell you one thing, though, damn it. I'm glad it's happening in spite of... God, how I wanted to see that boy. He's a great kid. Right?
I'd have left, Peter. I've heard my mum threaten to cut it off before, but I never knew she meant your head.
Don't tease your poor old dad, Terry. He's putting up with his suffering like a saint, aren't you, Jacko?
Divorce court. That's where that marriage is heading.
Oh, you're a drama queen. They've had a row and that's all.
Well, they've had rows before, but I've never seen a look on his face like that. It were murderous,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what it were, murderous.
Must have been thinking about you then, Vera.
Flaming Nora, what's happened to you?
Industrial injury.
Hey, well, compensation comes into that all.
He's had his compensation, Vera, when I was massaging it better.
Is there any chance of me finishing early this afternoon, Brian? Only want to go and pick Sally's present up.
Yeah, okay. You know what she wants?
She needs a new anorak.
That's a sensible choice. And the weatherman's got no good lined up for us.
No, she's fell in love with those rhinestone-studded cowboy boots. So I'm gonna get her the belt to match if we can stretch it. You know, one of those with big fancy buckle-ons. She'll love it.
Yeah, that might help. Buy her a pair of woolly gloves at least.
Thanks, Brian. You're a good one.
Oh, don't thank me, son. You've worked for it. Happy Christmas.
Cheers. Will be.
Yeah.
Hello, love.
Hello.
How you go? Listen, did you speak to Gail?
What about?
About her and Nicky coming for Christmas dinner, love?
That'd be nice for you, Brian.
Yeah, for Nicky, yeah, but I'm not so sure how I feel about playing happy families with my soon-to-be ex-wife, though.
Don't talk so daft, Brian. You're both still Nicky's mum and dad. You always will be. Now, did you speak to her?
Not yet.
Well, get a move on, Brian, will you, before it's flaming New Year's Eve?
Oh, well, I can always gonna have a milkshake down in the burger bar.
Look, Jenny, are we going out together or what?
We are.
Oh, well, how come I'm always getting treated like a piece of maggoty cheese?
Oh, you don't. See, I don't do that to maggoty cheese.
It's just every time I come round your house, it's awful.
Oh, don't take any notice.
Well, it's all right, you saying that. Look, guy has his pride, doesn't he?
Well, look, she just feels she has to keep an eye on me. Now, I'm stopping there while my dad gets back.
Keep an eye on you. It's like being in a flipping jail. Hey, do you fancy the flicks tonight?
Oh, I'm sorry, I've got this rotten essay to do.
See?
Nothing to do with her, I have got work to do.
Suit yourself then.
Oh, I get it. It's the
the brush off, right?
No, it isn't. I want a girlfriend I can take out, Jenny, not someone with 1,000,001 complications like this.
It's got nothing to do with her, has it?
Yeah, it has, actually.
That's just an excuse. You just want to finish with me. You're just not man enough to say so.
Hey.
Hello. Hi. What was all that about?
Trials of young love. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. How's it going?
Fine. Kicking like a footballer.
Good. It's good. The thing is, my mum wants to know if you and Nicky want to come round for Christmas dinner.
Your mum does.
I do and all. Be nice for Nicky, all of us together.
Yeah, it would have been. But we're going round to Audrey's and Alf's. She asked me weeks ago.
I'd have mentioned it sooner, you know, but with one thing and another...
well, it's all arranged now. You can come round there. You and Ivy. I know you'd be welcome.
Thanks, but no. I don't think so. I'll see you later.
Thank you. Sorry to keep you.
It's all right.
Typical Baldwin tactic, eh?
What is?
Trying to diffuse the situation by sending along a wide-eyed emissary.
No.
Well, you can tell your boss it won't work. Whatever story he's primed you with, you have my commiserations, dear.
He's not my boss. He's my husband.
You're...
That's right. I'm Susan Baldwin. And I've just come to tell you that the whole thing was my fault.
Well, you can't seriously expect me to believe he didn't plan this whole devious little scheme.
He knew nothing about it. Hopscotch is my project. It's nothing to do with Mike. I went and found the kids and... well, it was just a rotten coincidence that I chose Mark. I didn't know who he was. How could I? Until last night, I didn't even know he existed.
Quite a thing for a new bride to have sprung on her. You are a new bride, I take it.
We got married in May.
Poor kid. Still, I don't suppose it's the only secret he's kept from you.
Oh, I think it is. I knew about you.
You knew what about me?
That you'd lived together, and that Mike asked you to marry him, and that you turned him down.
I see. Did he tell you why I turned him down?
I'm not really interested. I'm just here to tell you that I'm responsible for everything that's happened. So you'd stop blaming Mike.
You're very loyal, Susan. He doesn't deserve you.
I just wanted to put the record straight.
I did care for him. A great deal at first. We made sense together. We've both been around. And I was ready to make a commitment. But Mike always kept an important part of himself away from me. It grew to be more like a business arrangement than a romance. Then I got pregnant.
He didn't want it.
Oh, he was over the moon. A son and heir to the Baldwin Empire. That's when he asked me to marry him, because I was carrying his child. I don't have a perfect marriage, Susan. My husband's a lot older than me, and, well, I suppose we're level pegging there, you and me. But at least Harry asked me to be his wife because he loved me. Not just because I was a convenient breeding machine.
It's all ego-y, fellas, isn't it?
And what brought you to that big home truth?
Martin. You know, I thought he'd understand about me having work to do. No. All that worries him is losing face because I can't go out every night like his mates' girls can.
Did he say that?
No, he got the sulks because I can't go to pictures with him tonight.
Jenny, love, I don't want to stop you having fun, having boyfriends. I'm not some kind of monster, you know. I just don't want you to get too heavy, that's all.
Well, there's no fear of that now, is there? Now he's chucked me.
Well, if it's just because you're not available whenever he clicks his fingers, you're better off without him anyway.
I'll go.
Right. Oh. Mrs. Fairclough.
Yeah, why?
I want to work with her.
What about?
It's private.
Oh. Rita, Martin wants a word with you.
With me?
So I'll go and start that essay then.
Yes, Martin.
Look, if you've got something against me, Mrs. Fairclough, then I think I'm entitled to know what it is.
I've got nothing against you, Martin.
Well, why won't you let her see Jenny then?
Well, I don't want to stop you seeing each other. I was just explaining that to Jenny. I just don't think you should get too serious, that's all.
Well, who said anything about getting serious? We're good friends, that's all. Look, I'm 18. There's a lot of things I want to do before I think about settling down.
Yes, well, sometimes things can crop up and change your plans, however well organised you might think you are.
I'm not stupid. I don't intend to do anything daft. I know you got your duty by Jenny, and I know there's a lot of lads who take advantage of a girl in her situation, with no mum and a dad on t'other side of the world. But I'm not one of them lads. And resent you think I am. And that's all I've come to say.
I'm glad you did, Martin. Look, would you like to stop for a cup of tea? You call Jenny down and I'll put kettle on. I get the impression you two have a bit of making up to do.
Mum!
I just popped round to take some mince pies through Mrs. Cooper on Jubilee Terrace. She's all on her own, poor soul. You feel this at Christmas, don't you? Which reminds me, have you spoken to Gail?
Yeah, I did. They're going round to her mother's.
Oh, Brian, how long have I been telling you to ask her?
She said we can go around there.
Oh, well, I suppose we're better than known. Mind you, we best stock up on indigestion pills. Our sampled order is cooking. Believe me, we'll need it.
I told her no.
What'd you do that for? At least we could have all been together.
Doing what, Mummy? Wearing paper hats and phony grins and all pretending to be full of festive cheer.
You sound just like flipping Scrooge.
I don't like being a hypocrite, Mum.
And what's so hypocritical about spending Christmas with your family?
Yeah, but they're not, though, are they? I mean, Nicky is, and you, but they're not anymore. So the sooner we get used to the idea, the better.
I'll never get used to the idea, Brian, never. Think, Christmas was once the happiest time of all flaming year. When your dad were alive, bless him. You and Gail got married and little Nicky come along and we really were a family then, weren't we? Now my Bert's gone, God rest his soul, and you're trying to wedge Gail and Nicky out of his lives. They say it'll not be long before you have some other place with some other girl. So what's left for me then, Ryan, eh? What kind of a festive spirit am I supposed to have this Christmas?
Not hungry. Me neither. So now what?
God knows.
Oh, look, is it such a big deal? I mean, all right, I should have told you, but I didn't. I mean, but it's not as if you're finding out I'm flaming Bluebeard or something, is it? We can handle this, Suze. Can't we?
I went to see her this afternoon. Maggie?
You did what? Well, what the hell for?
To tell her that it was all my fault about Mark. That you had nothing to do with it.
And she believed you?
Not at first, no, but she did eventually. I don't think she's a bitch, Mike.
What?
He said she was a bitch. She seemed very reasonable to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, if things were the other way round and you were banned from seeing your kid, perhaps you wouldn't take such a tolerant view.
You could have married her.
Oh, I asked her, for God's sake.
Only because of the baby.
Is that what she said? Yeah, it's probably true. Well, what are you looking so miffed about? I mean, doesn't that prove that I didn't care for her as much as I care for you? That she wasn't that important to me?
No, but Mark is.
Oh.
Oh, I understand that. I mean, it tortures you. It's an obsession that's always been there, only I never knew.
What was the point?
I knew you wanted kids. But until now, I didn't realise just why it was so important to you. I thought you married me because you loved me. Now I'm beginning to wonder if it wasn't for the same reason you said you'd marry her. Because I was a convenient battery hen.
Susan, that is a disgusting thing to say.
Yes, isn't it?
In America, wow, we're the kids in America, wow. Hey, you shouldn't be here.
I know I shouldn't.
My fantastic voice has been holding you spellbound, hasn't it? Go on, admit it.
It's been ringing in my ears like forever. I've started to hear that flipping song in my sleep.
They are going to think that I am truly amazing at this competition tonight. They will, won't they, Rita?
No danger, love. They'll think they're listening to Gracie Fields again in Rochdale tonight.
Who?
You just be half as good as she was, and you'll run away with first prize. So what are you going to do with yourself till the fateful hour?
I'm just going to swan about and make myself look beautiful. Like what artists do before a performance.
Well, don't overdo the warbling, otherwise you'll end up sounding like a frog. See you later, love.
See you. Ta-ra.
You sell aftershave? Of course we do. We sell everything here, lad. All except clog irons. Not a lot of course for them these days. Over there, on the shelf, on the left. Aftershave.
Energy giving chocolate. Listen, Chocky Bicky's are very fattening and also bad for your teeth, Teddy. I don't care to give you galloping thunge. I like a Chocky biscuit with my cuppa. Well, listen, I prefer a nice thin arrowroot. Well, you get what you want, but I'm having chocolate biscuits.
Well, listen, you're not engaged, are you? Because if you're not, I won't get married, eh?
And who rattled your cage?
Oof, I'm sorry if I interrupted a lover's tiff. Am I all right for the van tonight then, Curly?
Yeah, I think so. Well, what's this?
Well, he said I could use your van tonight. I'm taking Jenny up to this thing, you know.
Yeah, and I'm taking a bird to paradise, mate.
Hey?
So you're going to have to find your own transport, aren't you? Sorry, mate, you'll have to borrow it another night.
Tonight I want it, Curly. Hiya.
Hey, what do you want?
Well, can I have a quick word?
Yeah, come on in.
Oh, it's Mrs. Fairclough in.
No, she's not, and she won't eat you. She will. Hey, I was just deciding whether to have my hair up or not.
Huh?
Think it makes me colder or not?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it does or yeah, it doesn't.
It does, I think.
You're a big help.
Hey, Jenny. There's a bit of a problem about tonight.
Hey, what problem?
Well, Curly's let me down. We can't use his van.
What? We have to have it.
Teddy's using it, isn't he?
That's diabolical. After they promised us.
Well, we can always get there on bus.
It'd take hours. And what would I look like? I'd look a right mess instead of a glam pop star.
Oh, pop star now, is it?
That's what I'd be when I've won, wouldn't I? As good as.
Yeah, of course you will. That's if we ever get there.
We have to get there. I know, we'll borrow Rita's car.
Hey, she'd never lend it me.
She will. Just leave her to me.
Oh, I don't know, Jenny. I don't fancy the responsibility of driving Rita's car.
You've got a driving licence, haven't you?
Yeah, of course I have.
Well, then you can drive Rita's car. A lot better than she can, probably. Martin, we're going to this competition in a car, even if I have to pinch one. You know, as well as making me look older, I think it makes me look rather sexy, don't you?
I don't know.
I think you know very well that it does.
Hiya! What got you out of bed so soon?
Oh, Andrew, you only got a rotten drum for Christmas, didn't you?
Drum?
Hello, Mrs. Ogden.
Oh, hello, Chuck. Do you have a nice Christmas?
Not so bad. I didn't get my diamond bracelet again, though.
No, me neither. I don't think Father Christmas knows my address. In fact, I don't think he's ever known it.
You look dead rough.
Loud, isn't it, between Christmas and New Year? I'm recovering from one binge and getting set for another.
He's been disgusting this Christmas, him. All he's done is eat and drink. I've warned him. First sign of a paunch and he's had it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Hey, talking about binges, what are you doing New Year's Eve?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. We're going out on a pub crawl, getting blind rotten drunk and finishing off down the square, kissing every bird in sight like we always do.
Shades of my Stan, is that? Although he could never see straight enough on New Year's Eve to kiss a gasometer.
I'm not very keen on doing that, Kev.
Oh, it's what we always do.
Who's we?
Terry, Curly, all me mates.
Yeah, well, it's time you did something different.
Oh, you can't do anything different on New Year's Eve. Oh, I've got it. You're jealous, aren't you? The thought of me kissing all those birds
It's
and everything.
childish, that's all. I think it's macho, fellas.
It's only a bit of fun, isn't it, Mrs. Ogden?
Well, to be honest, Kevin, I've never been all that fond of New Year's Eve. I mean, it can be a very harrowing experience for a woman, you know. I think it's the only time a lot of fellas ever get the chance of a kiss. Don't they make a meal of it?
So you see, you're just being a chauvinist. Pig. A dead rough chauvinist pig.
They got a point, Kevin.
All right. I give in.
Where are you, you little snig? Nicky? Nicky! Where is he?
I've no idea.
Here!
Hey, be looking high and low.
You silly sausage, you gone and spoiled it now. He'd never have found you there. Morning.
Hello, love.
Oh, love.
Hey, Hope, what are you doing behind there? They've never got you working till, have they?
I wish he'd do something instead of plaguing the life out of me.
Playing hide and seek.
Oh, I see.
What are we going to do now?
Go and hide again. Grandad, you count up 10.
Go on, I'll start counting.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. I'm too old for this, you know. 4, 5. Coming ready or not?
Oh, honestly, he's had a lovely time this Christmas. He really has. Nicky, I mean, I'm not so sure about Alf.
Oh, has he? And he's still got his birthday to come.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yes, I'm making a smashing birthday party. We're having the lot.
Are you?
Yes, I'm doing him a homemade steak and kidney pie, and then potatoes mashed with lots of milk and butter.
Fancy.
Yes, and then we're having jelly and blancmange and tin pears. He loves tin pears.
Does he?
Yeah. And I made him a lovely birthday cake. You have got some tin pears, have you?
Of course we've got tin pears.
Well, I'm just checking.
Hi. Where's my son? His dinner's ready.
Playing hide and seek with Alf.
Oh, poor Alf. What's biting you?
Ivy. She keeps going on about the wonderful birthday party she's going to give Nicky. Honestly, to hear her talk, you'd think he'd be living on bread and water at our house over Christmas. Does he like tin pears?
Tin pears? They don't much like fruit of any kind.
I didn't think he did. She's going to shove them down him, whether he likes them or not, poor little thing. What are you laughing at?
You!
You know, it's a pleasure to serve somebody who looks wide awake and healthy. Most folk look like piles of wet washing after Christmas, especially him.
Oh, I'm feeling a mite fragile, believe me.
Well, I'm feeling just as wonderful as I look. You make me sick. Is it my fault you recover quicker at my age? Oh, I hate it. If I asked you to move, would you fall down?
My head doesn't seem to belong to my body, but...
I've always thought they were a fairly good match myself. Both ugly.
We always go on a pub crawl on New Year's Eve.
Oh, exactly what I said.
Yeah, we do.
Well, this year we're not.
Who says not?
We do, don't we, Lauren? Yeah, we do.
That's like a rabbit telling a tiger to push off out the jungle.
Kevin is not going on a pub crawl for a start.
Well, no, I mean, if you can think of something else to do.
No, and neither is Curly.
Am I not? No. What's going on? You two aren't even rabbits, you're flaming mice. You just do as you're told, just like that. Have you seen who's giving you the orders? A couple of midgets. Female midgets.
You know what you are, Terry Duckworth? You're an extinct species. Isn't you, Curly?
Well, Curly, well, you are a bit old-fashioned in some of your ways and views. Yes, you are, Teddy, a bit, actually. I'm old-fashioned. Me? Listen, Curly, compared with you and your hobgoblin girlfriend, I'm more space-age than Captain Kirk.
It's him, Curly.
A bit uncalled for, Terry.
Yeah, but in your attitude to girls, you're old-fashioned, aren't you?
I've not got an attitude to old girls, darling, just the ones I find devastating.
There you go, you just proved my point. Hey, why don't we have a party on New Year's Eve? Hey, good idea.
Well, no.
Well, seeing as how yours is swinging, Terry Duckworth, how's about having one at your house?
Are you sure? His dad had charges for admission, not to mention the booze.
I got the eye of the glasses, mate.
Hey, hang on, I've got another idea.
What are you doing up there? Get down,
Mrs. Ogden?
Yes, love.
Well, can we have a party on New Year's Eve?
Party? You mean at home?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I've read about the sort of parties you youngsters have. Hundreds turn up and wreck the house.
Well, it wouldn't just be our party, it'd be your party and all, for you and your friends.
Oh, well, in that case, I don't mind at all, if I'm going to be able to wear my party frock. Hey, you're doing this to stop Kevin running wild New Year's Eve, aren't you?
All fixed. We're having a party at number 13.
Oh, you ready? You mean Mrs. O just give you the run of the house, just like that?
Well, no, I mean, she's going to be there.
Ah, some party that's going to be in it with her on the prowl. Have all the bedroom doors bricked up for a start.
You don't have to come.
Well, I'm not coming, darling. I've got half a dozen of my own parties to go to. And I'll end up with a bird I'm taking out tonight. Only lives in a house with a swimming pool and her parents away. Get the picture, lads? Am I glad I'm a chauvinist pig instead of a wimp like you two?
What's all this then? I thought you were just going to swan about looking beautiful.
Well, I was, but then I thought, how selfish can you get, Jenny? I mean, here's this poor woman working hard all day and then coming home and spending a boring night on her own in front of the telly. Well, least you can do is tidy up a bit for her.
You're too kind.
I know I am. And I've made you some turkey butties for your lunch as well.
You're not going religious, are you?
You just see the shiny side of me nature, Rita, that's all.
Ah, that's what it is, eh? Well, where are these butties then? Because I'm starving, even for turkey.
They're in the fridge. Rita, we've been let down.
Who's been let down?
Me and Martin.
How have you been let down?
We can't have Terry and Curly's van.
Oh. Well, how are you going to get to Rochdale tonight, then?
Well, we can't. Unless
What?
you lend us your car. Oh, go on, Rita, please. I've got my heart set on winning this competition. And Martin's a good driver, he really is.
How do you know? Have you ever driven with him before?
Well, no, but I know he's never had an accident.
He's never had a car of his own to have an accident with, has he?
Oh, go on, Rita, please. We'd only have it a couple of hours. We'll bring it straight back. Promise.
All right.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Do you know what I'm going to do for you?
What?
I am going to eat up all the turkey that's left. Can a person do more?
Do you know what you are? You're a little witch. That's what you are.
Me?
Yes, you. Come in. You're a bit soon.
Yeah, a bit.
Well, you look very smart.
Thanks very much, cheers.
Car's at the door.
Yeah, I know, I saw it.
I'll give you the keys.
All right.
I don't know what Madam's doing. You'd think she was getting ready to be presented at court. There we are. Now, have you ever driven a Fiesta before?
Well, no, I haven't.
Oh, well, it's pretty straightforward. It's a good little car. Just need plenty of choke, just till it warms up.
All right, well, I'll remember that.
Right.
Cheers.
Well?
Oh.
How do I look?
Look great.
Rita?
Very nice. It suits you, that dress.
Only very nice.
No, terrific. Terrific, though,
What?
your hair's a bit of a surprise.
Well, Martin likes it like this, don't you, Martin?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And don't you think you've gone a bit mad with the gunge?
Rita, I'm going to be singing on stage with bright lights shining on me. I don't look like I'm sickening for something.
No, I suppose not.
Come on, let's go.
All right.
Hey, drive carefully, Martin.
Yeah, I will.
And good luck. And just try and relax. Remember what I said? Don't tense up.
I will. See you.
Yes.
See you then.
Bye. Bye.
What's wrong with me? Ragged as that lad of yours.
Well, so long as he's not boxing you.
Oh, he's a boxer as well as a sprinter, is he?
Southpaw with a camouflage uppercut. Isn't that right, Bonzo, eh? Come on.
Hey,
Come on. All right. Oh, see what I mean? All right, you win. Right, I'm going now, right? I'm going to see you tomorrow morning. We'll get that football of yours and give a good kicking around the red wreck. See you off.
Ah, Sarah.
What did he buy?
Eh?
What did he buy?
Oh, a couple of big bottles of Coke and some potato crisps and some monkey nuts. You know, salted peanuts.
Has Ivy no sense or what? She'll make that child sick. Now just see if she does.
It'll be right. You go with your nana, look.
I'm surprised to see you're still open.
Oh, why's that person we usually are at this time?
Well, all money you must have made this Christmas, so I thought you'd shut up shop and got off to Biarmas.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Percy.
You're never going to Biarmas, are you?
Well, there's no settled yet, you know, but as you say, we have had a very satisfactory Christmas. Very satisfactory. You're not buying out, then?
Well, I was going to get a bit of boiled ham for my tea, but I'll make do with what's left of my roast pork. Why should I have to line your pockets? I've always said shopkeeping with a licence to print brass.
What have you done to Percy? Happy New Year when it comes, I said. Only for groceries, he grunted.
I've just been kidding him on. We might be going to Bahamas.
Well, why don't you?
Hey, shut up, Audrey, here. We will be doing.
I've come to take my son off your hands yet again.
Oh, Audrey, have you got Nicky there? His mum's here.
No.
Oh, where's the little devil gone? He'll be in that stockroom again. Ooh.
Hiya. Now, listen. Brian's just been in buying bottles and bottles of pop, not to mention crisps. They're going to stuff that lad till he bursts, they will.
Which is something you never do.
No, I don't.
Hey, he's not there.
Oh, he must be.
I tell you, he's not.
He'll be hiding. Come on, Nicky.
He's not there.
There you are. All right.
Hey, son, does Grandma Roberts know you're here?
Listen, he only wants to come and see his grandma. Tells you, don't you, touchy face? Hey, have you been playing with that racing car Father Christmas bought you, eh? I bet you like it better than that silly gun you got, won't you? Who's that?
I'll get it.
Brian, is Nicky here?
He is here.
Oh, Nicky, you naughty boy, running off like that.
Well, he only slipped down the street to see his grandma.
When I was meeting her, I think you should have told us. Come on, Nicky, your tea's ready. Come on.
Well, can't he finish his drink first?
Spoil his tea. You know, Ivy, you've not got a clue when it comes to kids, have you? Come on, love, come on. Mind your head.
Did you hear that? I've not got a clue. From her, what brought her daughter up on chick butties and a different uncle every
She
week.
hasn't done all that bad, Mum.
Oh, I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Well, Gail's a good mother.
Just as well with grandmother Nicky's got.
That's the last party we had here, you know, there was a fight.
Oh, tell me more.
Oh, it was over Audrey Potter.
Who?
Oh, Mrs. Alf Roberts.
Was Alf protecting her honour then?
True, he'd have had a job on with her. No, it was long before Alf put his bid in. No, it was Fred G., the barman at the Rovers, a big fat fella who didn't half fancy himself. Well, him and a friend of a paying guest of mine at the time, Eddie Yates, they had a set too. Talk about skin and hair flying. Still, I should have known better than invite Audrey Potter and Fred G. They're not my class of person.
Don't worry, Mrs. Ogden, there'll be no fighting at our party.
You're very sure of yourself, aren't you, Sally?
No, not especially.
Oh, yes, you are. I mean, the way you treat Kevin. I'd never have dared tell my Stan he couldn't go out cruising on a New Year's Eve. Not that he'd have taken any notice of me if I had.
Oh, well, times have changed, I'm glad to say.
Yeah, but we didn't let fellas get away with everything, you know. Oh, no, there was always ways of getting your own way. Ways of making a fella like putty in your hands.
Oh, I'm all for that, Mrs. Ogden.
I mean, if God give us charm and beauty, why shouldn't we use it to our own advantage?
Absolutely.
The hand that puts the rouge on rules the world.
Yeah.
Huh? What are you two giggling at?
Oh, nothing you'd understand, would you, Mrs. Ogden?
No, not in a million years.
Can't stop here long, Jenny.
Why not? He's only just gone 10.
I know that, but Rita want to know why you went home, won't she?
Not enough for her to stay in case we ring her, which we have done.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, wasn't that fantastic?
You were pretty good, yeah?
Pretty good. I was good enough to win first prize.
Yeah, I know that, but the competition wasn't that good, was it?
Hey, do you want a thick lip?
All right, you were fantastic.
Oh, where do I go from here, I ask myself.
Where indeed, eh?
On to fame and fortune. Another Madonna.
Very probably.
Hey, I'm sorry I have to leave you behind.
Well, that's life, Jenny.
So why don't you give me a kiss while you still got the chance?
Well, we've got to get back, haven't we?
I said, kiss me. I'll not let you drive off till you do.
You really are on pins, aren't you?
Oh, Betty, I'm worried whether she's won this contest or not. I'm worried she's out with a lad. I'm worried she's out in a car.
You'd be in a state if she really was your daughter, now would you, love?
Do you know, I think I feel more responsible for her because she's not.
Hey, look at that. I thought he had a date on tonight.
He had. What you having?
Hey, I'm usual. I mean.
Snap.
Hey, Terry,
Can I have 2 pints of wine?
Yeah.
The famous international playboy.
What happened to you then, mate?
Slight itch in my plans.
Oh yeah, how slight?
You know that girl I was telling you about? She's had to go to Spain with the mum and dad.
Oh, don't tell me they found out about you and insisted she left the country.
That's not funny.
Still bangers for New Year's Eve then?
No, I've got a fallback list of birds as long as my arm.
Well, of course you have, Terry.
Yeah, name one. I've not made me choice yet, have I?
Right, there you go, there's your pint. 1 week. All right, what are you doing here?
He's been jilted.
Oh, danger. I'll be seeing her when I get back. She gets back from Spain.
You know what I think? I think we should find Terry Duck with a nice girl.
Yes, somebody who won't jilt him.
Yeah, someone he can settle down with.
Yeah, he's getting a bit ancient now, isn't he? To be going around town every
I'll
night.
batter you, Webster.
Terry, what is your definition of love?
What?
You know, like in Love Story. Love is
Never having to say you're sorry.
Oh, dear. I'll tell you what love is. It's a drug invented by women to send blokes into a permanent coma.
Well, I expected you to say something like that.
Well, come on, what's your definition?
Can't think of one just like that.
Love is not wanting to be with anyone else or anywhere else.
I'll settle for that.
I read that today, though.
I mean, Kevin, what?
I mean, well, yeah.
You like some out of a woman's magazine. You're unreal.
Just wish Jenny had stayed a girl a bit longer instead of suddenly turning into a young woman.
At least until her dad gets back.
You might as well try and stop a runaway, Alison.
Yeah, I suppose so.
What's up? Have we run out of petrol? Have you given it enough shot, like Rita said?
I reckon that's what the trouble is then. Must have flooded it.
So, what do we do now?
I'll wait till it dries out, I suppose, unless you want to push it.
Why don't you push me?
Because you can't drive.
I can drive it enough to get it started. My friend's dad taught us when we were on holiday last year at their caravan.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. Let's give it a try.
All right. It's easy. Do you know where the clutch and the brake are?
Of course I do.
Oh, put your foot, have you got the foot on the clutch there?
Yes.
Right, well, put it into second gear. Right, that's it. Now I'm going to go around the back and start pushing it, right? And once it starts moving, take your foot off the clutch slowly, right? And the engine should start up, hopefully. Now, once it's started up, put your foot back on the clutch. And then put your other foot on the brake. And you should be all right. Have you got that?
Of course I have.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Just get on with it.
Right.
Oh,
smart, Jenny.
Did I tell you I could drive? In fact, I can drive home.
Hey, out.
Well, just to the end of the road,
Jenny,
then.
out.
Get it.
Hey, I said out.
Oh, go on, just to the end of the road.
No further.
Slow up! Hey, Jenny, do what I tell you, will you? Jenny, slow up! Stop, will you?
Martin? Martin? Martin?
Oh, come on, you've got to get something down here.
No, I couldn't.
Are you hurt there?
No, I just feel a bit sick.
Finish your tea. Martin hadn't been drinking, had he?
No. No, I was. We'd only had a lemonade each and a cup of tea when we got there.
All right. All right.
Just wish I could remember what happened.
Don't worry, love, you will. Did you get any sleep last night?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did. I don't feel tired.
Well, you look it. So drink that up and we'll get you home and get you to bed.
I'm not going home. Not till I see Martin.
Now, what can you do if you see him? Don't be silly. Come on home.
Rita, he stayed with me. He watched me win and he looked after me.
He looked after you?
It wasn't his fault. Rita, I know it wasn't his fault. I've got to be sure he's all right.
All right. Well, here. Get yourself a taxi. And as soon as you've seen Martin, you come home. Do you hear what I said?
Yeah, I will. As soon as I see him, I'll come home. Promise.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, don't worry.
Well, ring me at the shop if you need me. And don't forget, as soon as you've seen Martin,
I'll come home.
I'll make sure you do.
Hey, Rita wasn't in hospital all night, was she?
No, Alf brought her back.
Oh, it was you that took her, was it?
What time was she rang us?
Oh, going on for 12.
Yeah, it was after 1 when I got back here, I know that. Anyway, she had a couple of hours in bed and I took her back at 7.
You did a fair bit of running about then.
Well, Rita's an old girlfriend, isn't she? It's the least he could do.
So, how were they when you left, the kids?
Oh, well, I didn't actually see them myself, you know, but according to Rita, Jenny's all right. Well, she's got cuts and bruises, like, but they are worried about the lad. He hadn't regained consciousness when we left.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't he? He's a nice little lad and all.
Well, Gail'll be upset. She thinks a lot of him.
Oh, Rita will be upset and all. He wrote the car off, you know. I mean, they're all alike, these young lads. You put them behind the wheel of a car, they think they know everything. You take it from me, if you see a car blazing around a corner, 10 to 1, it's a young lad behind the wheel.
Oh, Alfie, come on, Martin's not like that.
They're all like that, love. They've got that much confidence in themselves. That's the trouble.
Look, let's just be thankful nobody got killed.
Well,
yes,
exactly.
yes. Is Nicky looking forward to his birthday party?
Oh, I should think so, yeah. He's going to be tired out, though he's had a lovely time with us, hasn't he, Alfie?
Oh, aye.
Well, don't worry, we'll look after him. I've got a smashing spread laid on and I made his favourite chocolate cake and, well, he won't go short of presents either. I bought him one of them bopper hoppers and our Brian's bought him a lovely drum kit. A toy one.
A drum kit?
Oh, well, he's only with us another couple of days, Al.
Oh, Nicky by himself's bad enough, but Nicky in a drum kit.
Well, he can start with me if you like.
No, it's all right, love. Look, take no notice of my husband. Grumbling's his hobby. He loves him, really, don't you?
Oh, of course I do, aye.
Right, well, see you about 5 o'clock then, eh?
Yeah, all right, love. See you
Ta-ra,
then.
love.
Bye. Favourite chocolate cake.
Do you really think he's going to get a flipping drum kit?
Oh, shut up, Al.
Look, do you think we should ring the hospital, see if they'll tell us anything?
They never do, love. They never do.
How's he going on?
He's still unconscious, so you can't talk to him yet, can you?
The girl's still here, is she?
She's in the waiting area.
I'll go and have a word with her then. If, how it happens, give us a shout, okay?
If I've got time, yes. Just don't bother me. We've got other patients here, you know.
Just do your best, love.
I'll get it. No one move.
You want the rest of these pots, Mrs. O?
Well, they'll not get washed up sitting on the table, will they?
No need for your sarcasm. Only asked.
Thanks very much, Tom.
Oh, what's he doing here?
He's brought his record player for tonight.
Oh, he's condescended to come, has he, then?
Not being so clever, what's going to become you? Is that all you've brought? A few LPs? We can't get very merry on them, can we?
Yeah, but you can get hilarious on Lois' dad's own brew, and we're bringing a couple of bottles each.
What do you mean, shut up? No need for your shushing, I'm not deaf. Still got all my facilities, thank you very much. And seeing as it's New Year's Eve, I don't mind you having a drink, so long as you don't go mad.
Now, would we, I ask? I mean, have you ever known me to do anything daft, eh? Have you?
Stop it, you Do you know what? You're not such a bad dancer for a young fella.
Should see me in my sequin frock, Mrs. O.
It's Mr. Sugden!
A bearer of bad news, I'm afraid. That young lad from Cafe, Martin, and the paper girl, what's her name? Jenny. They've been in a car crash. They're in Salford Royal.
Oh, they never.
When did this happen, then?
Sometime last night, so I'm told.
Was it on the way back from Rochdale? Weren't they going to Rochdale to a talent contest or something?
Well, I don't know the details, love. I do know they are in hospital and he's far worse off than her.
Oh.
Well, one less for the party.
Oh, the poor kids. There's always something goes wrong Christmas and New Year, isn't there? It's as though fate was making us pay for our happiness.
Yeah. Well, I'll be off. I'm making my way down the street. I'll keep you abreast of further developments.
Yes, you do, Percy. Yeah. Oh, there's always something.
Still, they'll be getting looked after there.
Oh, yeah, if they're in Salford Royal, they're in good hands.
I know it's not easy, love. But try and tell me what you can remember.
Well, we were driving down this road and it was dark and we were listening to the radio. There was some music playing. And then, I don't know what happened. We just sort of swerved and next thing I knew, we were upside down.
But you managed to get out?
Yeah. I don't know how I did it, but I managed to get out. And then I dragged Martin out and then a car stopped and a man got out and helped us. And then the next thing I knew, the ambulance arrived and that's it. I mean, I don't know how it happened. I mean, we weren't going fast or anything.
We know that. There were no skid marks. So it doesn't look as though he was speeding. Had he been drinking? Alcohol?
No. I don't think there was any in the place. We only had lemonade and tea.
Right. I think that'll be all for the time being. I'll have a word with the lad when he comes to. If you see Sister looking for me, I'll be in the canteen. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell her.
He's just come round, sister.
Hello. Hi. Decided to come back to us, have you? How are you feeling?
It's a bit woozy.
Oh, I bet you are. Right, don't run away and we'll let the doctor have a look at you. Find Dr. Faulkner.
Ryan.
Yeah?
Don't let's have any trouble when they come for the teas, love.
I won't cause any trouble.
Well, Audrey's gone up at you again. I know how easily you fly off the handle, love.
Don't get me at it, Mother. If anybody's going to fly off the handle, it's going to be you.
Well, are you surprised? She behaves like flipping Lady Muck. Anyway, she can do what she likes today. She's not going to note out to me. It's Nicky's birthday and nothing's going to spoil it. So I want you to get a grip on yourself. I don't want you misbehaving.
I wasn't going to.
All right, then make sure you don't. Who's that?
Yes, Percy.
Is your mother in?
She is, yeah.
What is it, Percy? Only we're a bit busy.
Don't worry, I'm not stopping. I just thought I'd like to keep you acquainted with the local news. There's been an accident. That daughter of Alan Bradley's.
I know, Percy.
How was he when he woke up?
Oh, fine. A bit pale, but then... Dr. Faulkner's with him now, so he'll be all right. He's a very good doctor.
Can I see him?
Dr. Faulkner?
No, Martin, my friend.
Oh, I don't know, love. You'll have to ask Sister. And speak of the devil. I was just...
Yes, nurse. Where's that policeman?
I don't know.
Did he have a word with you? He said he was going to.
Yeah, he did.
Did he say where he was going?
No, he just went.
He asked for cooperation, and this is the way to behave. Go and find him, nurse. Tell him he can talk to the boy now.
Can I see my friend? Please.
Not at the moment, dear. I don't want him excited. He's not out of the wood yet.
Look, please, just for a minute, then I'll go straight home.
All right. Come on. You've got a visitor. 2 minutes.
Thanks. How are you?
Not so bad. Bit wobbly. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But the policeman's been asking me questions, Martin. He's coming to see you.
What did he tell him?
Well, I didn't want to get you into any trouble, so I didn't say anything about the lay-by. So I didn't say that I was driving either. I just said that we were listening to the radio. Suddenly the car swerved. Next thing I knew, we'd turned over. I mean, you could have swerved, couldn't you? I mean, dazzled by a headlamp or something. Well, you could have, couldn't you?
Yeah, all right. I'll tell him what's what happened.
I didn't want to get you into any trouble, Martin.
It was a good night, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, great. Have you seen your mum and dad yet?
Well, the sister's ringing me, you know. So they'll be here soon.
I think you'd better go now, young lady. You can come and see him again.
Is there anything you want specially?
Thanks. Hey, everything will be all right, okay?
See ya.
Cheers.
Hello, come on in.
It's bitter out there.
Oh, well, don't worry. It's nice and warm in here.
Yes, well, it's nice and warm in our home and all. It's just them few yards down the street. How's the birthday boy?
Oh,
eh?
he's smashing. He ate all his dinner.
I've got a drum kit.
Oh, well, yeah, did you hear that, Grandad? He's got a drum kit.
Aye, so I see.
And you got all those lovely presents at home, haven't you? You're lucky little boy.
Has he been any trouble?
No, love, not a bit. Mind you, he never is here, is he, Brian?
No. No, he's fine.
Right, well, come on then, let's sit ourselves down. Give me a coat, Al.
Oh, right.
My only sunshine, you really can't be what shines of gray.
So he goes on to
So she couldn't send her together. Audrey, you couldn't have kept her away. She's frightened to death of I be getting her claws into little Nicky.
Well, I would have thought Brian was more of a problem in that department.
Do you know, for a clever fella, you can be dead stupid sometimes. When it comes to possessiveness, parents can't hold a candle to your grandmas and grandpas, and you know what Audrey's like at the best of times.
Yeah, poor old Alf. Read the riot act, was he?
If Ivy wants to keep him overnight, it's no. He's coming with us, drunk it or no drunk it.
Oh, yes, love.
Oh, very good, that, just like him.
How do these chaps manage to let themselves get dominated by their wives?
Wouldn't answer you, would it, love?
It wouldn't, no.
Anyway, I think it's dead wrong trying to dominate your husband.
Oh, I'm glad you think that.
Yeah, it's much more fun twisting him round your little finger.
May I say how nice it is to see a happily married couple?
Oh, certainly, Percy, as loud as you like.
I'd like to buy you a drink if you know the day and the date.
No, Percy? Let me buy you a drink. I mean, it's New Year for all of us, you know.
Well, you're absolutely right, as usual, and thank you very much.
Betty, same again for Deirdre and myself and whatever Percy's having.
Been infiltrated, have you?
I walk straight into it. Do me a favour, if you're still there in half an hour, shout fire.
I'll do better than that, lovey. I'll bring the drinks round and I'll chuck his all over him.
Betty, whatever happened to the milk of human kindness?
Well, work here more than 10 minutes, love. Curdles.
But it's not as though we've got an extension, is it? I mean, the place will be empty by 11 o'clock. They'll be sat home watching the television. Go on, give us early now.
Jack, light of my life, me and Betty will be working ourselves silly until we close. Now, we'd be very happy if you would muck in. To take it a step further, we'd be glad if you would care to join us for a staff drink after we've shut shop. Never mind Hilda's party, that'll be all kids. And I shall be asking Hilda to come here. Now, the chances are a couple of my girlfriends will be dropping in, so we'll be having 1 or 2 quiet drinks in the comfort of my own home. What do you say?
Will I be the only fella?
Embarrassed, are you? Do you want me to rustle up some more?
No, that'll manage. But what about...
Don't say it. Not a word to your Vera.
Excuse me, Martin. There we are. Okay, love.
This might interest you, Mrs. Turpin. I was just telling Ken's good lady that girl that's been in the accident is back with Mrs. Fertle. Has been since this morning. Come back in a taxi.
You don't miss much, do you, Percy?
At this time of the year, Mrs. Barlow, with all the villains in the world on the loose, I miss nothing. So rest easy in your beds.
Well, she slept most of the time since she came back from the hospital.
I didn't sleep very well last night.
Oh, would you try to tell me she did?
Well, I just thought you might like this little cake with your cup of tea.
Oh, thank you.
It's not much, but, well, little things can bring a lot of pleasure at times, can't they?
They can, Hilda, they certainly can.
And if you feel like popping round later on, you know, take your mind off things, you'd be more than welcome. You and all, Rita.
I don't think so, Hilda. I don't think she's up to parties yet, and I think I'd better stay with her. Thank you.
All right, well, if you think better of it, you know. Any road, love, nice to hear you feeling better.
Thank you, Mrs. Anthony.
Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Hilda.
All
Very
right,
kind
then.
of you.
I'll see myself.
All right, love. Try now, then.
All right.
You didn't want to go, did you?
No. Can I stay with you, though? I mean, it is New Year's Eve.
Of course you can. And we'll get the booze out later. Be devils.
I don't want to go home. You're not going home. I'm going to your Nana Audrey's.
Listen, love, why don't you stop? You can put him to bed and let New Year in with us.
No, I'll get off home. Tell you the truth, I'm not feeling too hot myself.
Oh, lovey, now you're going to be all right. Look, I can come home with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just a bit tired, that's all. Are you going to say thank you to your Nana Ivy?
Thank you for having me.
God bless you, darling. Good boy.
Ta-ra.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Ta-ra. See you, Nick.
Brian, why didn't you ask her to stop?
What do I do at midnight, eh? You've got to kiss and wish her Happy New Year. Don't be daft, Mother.
It's not me who's daft, Brian. If you had any sense, that's just what you would be doing.
Right, who wants another drink?
Oh, mind. Thank you.
Nice party, Mrs. Ogden.
Thank you very much.
Who are you?
Bernie Smallwood. The Honourable, actually, but I've renounced my title. I'm a mate to Terry's.
Nice to meet you.
Lipstick. Lipstick. Powder paint, lipstick. Powder paint. Tina Turner.
Yes, you are. You can do it. Easy. Round and round we go. Here we go, Mrs.
I feel the second childhood's a bit early, isn't it?
Well, come for a drink, have you? Can you turn that down a minute, though? Just a minute.
What would you fancy?
Now I've come to take you away from all this. We're having a few drinks for the staff. Bit quieter, more your age group. Come on, Cock, get your coat
I
on.
can't leave this lot.
Of course you can, they don't want you.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, no, we don't.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, isn't it nice to be wanted?
Betty's doing cheese dips.
Go on, you go and enjoy yourself, Mrs. O.
All right, then. Now, mind you behave yourselves.
Hey,
Go on, Mrs. Ogden, I'll make sure they're out. Happy New Year!
Mrs. O. Right, let's get the rest of them balls open. Come on.
Hey, watch it. You've had more than enough already.
It doesn't much matter, love. We've run out.
With what? Well, we hardly had any to start off with, did
He's
we?
been suffering like he's going out of passion. Oh, he always goes over the top.
Right, that's just where I'm going. Over the top, and I'm taking no prisoners.
Where are you going?
I'm going for some booze. Where do you think I'm going? The Band of Hope?
There's nowhere open this time of night.
Ah, you want to bet, mate? See you later.
You don't look very drunk.
That's his trouble. Yeah, you see, it's all to do with your metabolism. I mean, he doesn't look too bad, he doesn't even sound too bad, but if the truth be known, he's smashed out of his skull. You see when the time comes, one more drink and splat.
You better not be here when that happens. Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Hey, I'll see you home, sweetheart.
No, you won't. Where's the girl you came with?
She's up to got bored.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Come on, enjoy. Hey, hang on a minute, mate. Go.
Sally, someone at the door.
I'll get it. Show me, it's not locked.
I couldn't open the door carrying this, look, could I? It's there, boys! Hey, Teddy, where'd you get that lot from? From an off-licence, where do you think? Still is, mate. Now, come on, let's get these balls the same way. Roll on 87. Don't be shy.
Get in there.
I think you better get your trainers on and get jogging. Rambo's on the loose. Yeah, I can see that. Hey, I'll tell Bernie and he'll take you home. Oh, God, no. Okay. Go on, you get after that. Do us a favour. Take Rosalind home. She's in lobby.
Definitely my pleasure.
Don't bank on it. And don't say out to Terry. We don't want any trouble.
I'm not scared of Terry. Hey, Terry, I'm taking your bird home, okay?
No problem, mate. Save me the trouble. Hey, where's my glass? Here, who's that it?
It's only once a year.
Hey, have you seen the town? Come on, Alf, you're supposed to be first footing.
Oh, I suppose so. I always get lumbered with this job.
Well, you shouldn't be so dark and handsome.
Now then, right, I've got my whiskey in my pocket, so
Right.
I need a lump of bread, please.
Oh, yeah.
Or a potato or something.
Yeah.
And a lump of coal.
We don't use a lot on gas fire, Alf. Come on, you do, let's have it off.
Don't ever dye your hair because you'll get double pneumonia every New Year's Eve, I'm telling you. See you doing it, love.
There we are, love. Now. Yeah?
You know, your dad will have had his new year about 4 hours back.
I hope he has a good one.
I hope we all do. Cheers.
I know we're going at each other, but we do both want the same thing, don't we?
Of course we do. Of course we do.
All the best, Clary. There you go. Happy New Year, and God bless all who shop in you.
Classic Coronation Street returns on Wednesday at the earlier time of 5:30, and the omnibus is this Sunday at the normal time of 3 o'clock. Get in the festive spirit next on Plus with a Who Do You Do Christmas special.